up? Hey, everybody.
I deflect the bullet, and then I roll for my bullet resistance.
And then I eat the bullet.
Oh no!
This is my face every time we interact.
What is happening?
Every time we have a base interaction, it's what?
Welcome in, wonderful
Hi,
viewers. Hello.
Hello.
Beautiful people. Hey, so, Conundrum Company is starting now. Here's the Conundrum Company. I'm really killing it today. It's you guys. Look at that. We're on the internet.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's us.
I can already tell this is going to be such a great day.
Grab a seat by the hearth. Get comfortable. Get your favorite ale. Let's have some D&D time. Okay, so first things first, though, before we actually do the D&D announcements. So, announcement number 1. We at the Conundrum Company support the Black Lives Matter movement, and we would love for folks to donate some of their hard-earned money to charities and groups that are supporting those initiatives. So we are asking folks to press the big yellow donate button that is on our webpage. We love your subscriptions and all of that stuff, but if you so see fit, your money would also go to a far better cause if it goes that direction. So please consider doing that. Other announcement, so Soundtail, our awesome friends who have been providing us with background music, released their beta to some of their community yesterday, which is amazing and awesome for the backers. Unfortunately, it released with DRM, so I don't have access to the software right now. So we don't have Soundtail today.
It's going to get a little quiet.
So it's going to be a little quiet. Button has agreed to... Yeah, I was going to say, Button and Parker will sing the entire time.
I'll do the instrumental.
It'll be great.
Who?
But, huh? What?
Where?
When did I? I don't remember that.
It was between the 3 nice things.
We decided this for you.
Oh.
All right, so Soundtail is amazing. For those of you who backed it at a certain level, you should have access to the phone beta right now and can actually play around with it. So go take a look. Scheduling, Parker. What do we got?
Yay! All right, so scheduling. First things first. Tomorrow, join Josh and I with 3 of our friends as we do our 2nd episode of Cosplay Ground. So you can join us, and I'm really excited about every single one of the characters and the cosplays that are coming. So we'll be debuting that. That is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So same time tomorrow. Be here. Yeah. It'll be amazing. And then we have our regular stream schedule next week. So we've got Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We've got our Rolling Tides campaign. And then we will be back here on Saturday, this time, to do Conundrum Company. So yeah, pretty laid back week, but we still got 3 days of programming for you guys.
Hell yeah.
Woo!
I like that that's our laid back week.
I know, right? Yeah, when it's still nonstop. Sean.
Discord. We also have a Discord. Instructions are now in chat. There you go.
You're so good.
Was that lag? Sean, was
jump
that lag?
into our subscriber-only Discord, guys. I'm talking. Jump into our subscriber-only Discord. We've got our DM from the other campaign. He's picking people from that Discord, playing one-shots with them from the Rolling Tides, and it will tie into the story. You got a little sneak peek at the end of the last one of how that's going to continue. So if you'd like to be involved in that, go ahead and follow the instructions. It will not work in the mobile version of Discord. You need to go to the mobile desktop version and you can get in there. But that's the instructions to get in there. Hope to see you there. Bye.
All right, quick recap for our friends. The Conundrum Company had successfully navigated the political structure of the lizard folk who had been found to be purchasing weapons from the smugglers at Saltmarsh. The lizard folk came to an agreement with the Conundrum Company, and they escorted one of their ambassadors back to the town of Saltmarsh. They successfully made it to Saltmarsh with only 1 monkey falling out of the crow's nest, and no other injuries. They brought the Ambassador Swarab, to meet the council, and talks were begun about an alliance. While all of that was going on, the Conundrum Company decided to go about some business, take some time. You know, they've got a ship now. They need to crew and kind of equip for wherever they decide to set their sights next. They spent the day trying to find information, doing some shopping, flirting with the local quartermaster of Eos, that sort of thing, and just had some good conversations with each other. At the end, though, of that day of shopping, their good friend Manistrad Copperlocks, the head of the Dwarven mining company and known loyalist to the crown, came running up to them, looking quite tired, quite bedraggled and distraught, and said to them all, "I need to talk to you all now." She looked around, apparently gauging to see if they were being listened to, leaned in close and said, "There's been another murder." And that is where we left the Conundrum Company.
Yeah, we were real.
What?
That's what we pick up.
Jinkies.
Well, gang, let's split up and look for clues.
Ooh, yes, split the party.
It's time for some
No,
clues.
no.
Oh, how do you
Come
all?
on, mystery game.
We're in the middle of the street.
We're right outside
where
the
we were
magic shop.
shopping, right?
You're by the green market. You had gone to the green market to try and acquire some kind of like a compass, I believe, things like that.
I said clothes.
Yes,
Okay.
clothes. I don't think you had gotten information on Albert's Alabaster Emporium, which is apparently a clothing or an attire store located in Saltmarsh.
Put that on the back burner, I
Because
think.
I had said that.
Because of the
I
murder.
had said that, and then we turned and she
Murder.
ran up to us. And
That's
it was
right.
like, murder!
No clothes for you,
Hold
Zahl.
on, Monastrad. We have shopping.
We'll
One
get
moment.
back to you.
Because it was that, and then it was also, I had said we should check on the guy, the lizard folk guy. I forgot his name.
Swarev.
Suarez?
Suarez.
Suarez, the
Master
ambassador.
Suarez. And then it
We'll
was
see.
murder, and we were like, oh shit. And then Josh was
Oh,
like,
no.
It's just a little too late. I'm kidding. I don't know it's him. Oh, sorry guys.
Ugh.
Okay, in character. My bad. I'm sorry. This is why I said something.
Soundtail just
You
said
know.
we got mail. Thank you guys. We love you and appreciate you. You're the best.
We love you.
You guys are amazing.
We'll get it up and running at break, guys. See, guys, this is Soundtail. Like I noticed this like 10 minutes before the stream started, and a panic sent them an email, and they've already got us fixed. They are the
So
best.
awesome.
We love
Every-
you guys.
Every part of interacting with them, honestly, has been delightful.
And I'm so glad that we don't have to make this an acapella group.
I
All
mean,
right.
I want to hear y'all sing, but Soundtail, hot damn.
totally
that's-
fine.
that
This
ambience
first half is going to be noir.
Yes, it'll be.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Thank
got
you,
it.
Soundtail. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Noir
interrupt
means
you,
without
Parker.
music, right?
You're good.
No.
This was valid, and I'm really excited. So this was exactly why I said what I said last time. This is, you remember earlier when I was like, we should make sure. Is anyone listening to us?
I am.
Go ahead and roll
Can I roll?
perception. Morton
Or is
is-
Mortin, that's a nat 1. She's very distressed. That was the first roll of the game, everybody. Hello. I don't hear a damn thing. I don't see
Okay.
anyone. We're alone.
I mean, as you glance around, there are people. There are very visibly people in the green market. It's
Cool,
kind
cool.
of.
I'm
It's getting. I
apparently
think
going.
it's. If I recall correctly, it's getting a little later in the day. So you're kind of glancing around, and like it's getting a little dark, like it's kind of dusky. Folks are kind of going about their business, cleaning up shop and things like that. Nobody seems to be paying you much mind. By now, your existence in the town has become known, and you're less of a attraction with how fantastical you all are compared to the residents. But they're
So-
kind of aware of you guys.
Isn't it morning? Because we went to sleep and then we went to the shop.
We did a bunch of like Peach went shopping, and then we went shopping, and then it was a lot of shopping. We did shopping.
You're right. It is probably though like mid-afternoon at this
afternoon,
point.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe not dusk, but kind of mid-afternoon. Thank you, Adam. Good
So-
shout.
Yeah, that's
Um,
funny.
So
Is
who
it another
died?
year?
That's the first question.
Yeah, who? I'm
Let's
sorry. Who?
let's just up the hill is the mining headquarters. We'll talk up there. Yeah.
Sure.
She kind of leads you up quite quickly. It's you guys. The green market is just down the hill from the mining quarter, so you get up, get in there. She clears out one of the back rooms, not talking to you around her desk, which is in the big open space, but into one of the back rooms, and says, "Look,
First, I know this isn't the way this spell normally works. I am going to cast Pass Without a Trace just on this area we're talking in.
okay,
Just to make sure things stay a little
go
quiet.
ahead and roll stealth for me, everybody, and we'll have Manistrad
Still
do the same."
time. Wow, you're going in jail.
But it's a plus
Okay.
10.
11. I guess
Wow.
actually, hold on. I have a stealth score,
You're
but I rolled
killing it,
another
Parker.
one. 14. I'm done. Today's done. Yeah, 2 nat ones in a row. It's fine. It's fine. I'll die. It's fine.
Demi like leans against the door, and it kind of like swings open on her, and she kind of like she's like, oh, and like closes it and comes back in and is like, right, I'm quiet, I'm good.
I'm good. My bad.
Everyone else seems to sufficiently be quiet. Manistrad is particularly with a 26.
29.
Oh dang, Zahl
23.
too, and just all the
24.
stealth. Yes,
Oh.
you all counteract
Someone
Demi.
just carry me on their back.
Yeah, accidentally
Just-
opening.
Okay.
You could have used that luck stone. Give yourself advantage on that roll.
I'll throw it at you.
So
Chris-
like up. Like,
Ow. So
Sorry. Okay.
So,
Sorry. My bad.
as you kind of fall quiet and she kind of ushers you all in, you're standing around just a small table. She says, "Look, this is the last person I would have expected, but it's a problem. Last night, Odophilia, Prime Water, found her father dead in his bed.
Zol, don't smile like that.
Not smiling. I'm just-
Suicide, then.
We haven't been able to get into the Prime Water Manor to see, and Odophilia is distraught and not letting people enter. But from what we've heard, his throat was slit.
Well, that
I'm
doesn't
not
make
an
much
expert.
sense.
Yeah, I don't think people tend to do that to themselves. As a general rule.
People are weird.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Unless we have the wrong person.
Oh, you have someone in custody?
No.
Oh, no,
We
we
have the
meant
wrong
we
suspect.
thought that it was Prime Water because we thought the assassination thing happened because of the smuggling thing, because he was related to the smuggling thing. Kind of feel bad now.
Question, real quick, because me and Peach had read the EOS book. Is there? And you said there was like stuff about like torture and praise. Is there anything that I would have remembered from that book that what could align with like people getting their throats slit? I know that's
Go ahead and roll a straight intelligence check for me.
okay. It's my day, guys. I got a nat 20.
Beautiful.
Hey.
So
You
you
can influence me.
you surprisingly recall like a lot of this book quite readily, and beyond that you recall interpreting it. There's a lot of discussion, theoretical discussion of practices of Eos as a nation, their demigod emperor thing, with alignment to the abyssal plane, and so on and so forth. Nothing in there that specifically says they would give a crap about some smuggling in a backwater town that would end up with murder of somebody. Like, it doesn't, there's no direct correlation there as far as you could piece together.
Cool. I just was thinking.
That's
So-
worth a shot.
You've just been told he's dead. No one's seen the body.
No, at least nobody on the council and nobody on the
Maybe-
guard.
Do we know how old his daughter is?
Are you asking?
Yeah. I'll ask. How old is his daughter?
She's 21, 22, young lass.
Hmm.
She's not letting anyone in? When did she say this happened? Last night? Today?
Well, they have servants in the manor, and a few of them have left and confirmed, but she's hysterical. She's locked herself in the bedroom, and she's screaming that this is the Loyalists' fault.
Oh. Oh. Yeah,
Does
we
he have-
probably don't look good either.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want one of us to try to sneak into the house, possibly?
I doubt it.
I don't know
We should
if
probably
need
try
to
and help her.
sneak.
No, I
Yeah.
remember the
just-
last time. I went really well when we just were like nice, at the door. So, you know, although he did not like us, so we're probably not the best to get involved in this.
I could now do the thing, change what I look like, or I can go invisible.
I don't. I mean, if there are people that have confirmed that he's dead, that's fine. But like, we'd probably need to talk to maybe his daughter about what do we care about this? I know that sounds insensitive, but like, is this part of our job now? Are we doing that now?
It's your lot's call if you want to get involved in this.
Monastrad,
It's
I don't
our
mean this
business.
I don't mean this in any rude sort of. Is it the Loyalist fault? Like, did you do this?
Do I look like I'd be able to sneak
Insight.
into... Go ahead and roll insight. He died!
I caught you, Josh. You
Can I
said
get-
something.
Can I be 110? About to say it too. About
Go ahead,
to
and
say it.
whoever would like to, roll insight check. As Manastrad says, do I look like I'd be
You
able
do not love
to
me
sneak
anymore.
into a heavily guarded mansion and slit a man's throat? 2?
Pete has no idea.
I rolled an 8. Or no,
8?
I rolled a 3, but I
22.
More. Okay.
17. I'm rolling really good today. That's gonna be a problem.
Manastrad has a good poker face, honestly. Mortin, you can tell she's being sincere.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I always trusted Malistrad.
She plays poker.
Genuinely, I did. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she's a bad thing.
Poker.
Look, if you lot want to get involved with this, that's your call. It seemed right to tell you, given that, well, I kind of consider you lot friends, and people are dying. People related to this business. So, what you do with
we
that
do have a
information is
ship.
on you.
We are currently living on that ship.
Yeah, you're literally sailing around the ship
It's-
that's really the
yeah,
center of all
it's-
this.
It's really, yeah, that's
There's an assassin running around free of the
really
kingdom.
unfortunate. I
working
mean,
for.
I don't like him, didn't, but like maybe we should try and help.
The people who've been killed so far are actually people that the loyalists might not like. There's a guy involved with smuggling and another guy involved with smuggling, allegedly.
A girl just lost her father. She
You
needs our
think
help
she's-
first.
Yeah, I can't really speak to that, but I imagine it's hard.
Zal's just nodding behind Demi, like. feel
Um,
that.
I can.
oh.
Oh, Morton.
Well, I feel horrible now. We're gonna go help her.
Shot, you bastard!
Oh, baby.
Oof, duh.
That's
right in
one
the
Oh,
thing.
it's
feels.
fine. Stop it. I'm fine.
That's Morton's actual reaction.
This soft, beautiful bastard is making us hurt.
Well, I hurt. So, Monastrad, how would you like us to proceed with this? I mean, I assume maybe we give her till tomorrow before we start bombarding her with questions, right?
What if she's not safe, though?
I mean, we can't do anything if she's not going to let us in the house.
We've got guards stationed around the manor now. Solomon's
I
there trying to keep
mean this in
peace.
the nicest way possible.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I know.
had guards at the prison too, so
I know. We've got
Oh.
more guards, though.
yeah.
Solomon's there. I don't know if he's making any headway. He can be charming. He can also be an absolute
Really?
pillock. Yeah, I know.
Hmm. I had no idea.
He's trying to. He's the only one who's not affiliated directly with the Loyalists. Ada might be there as well. I hadn't heard.
I suppose we're also not affiliated with the. So are we putting shopping on hold to go help? Is that what we'd like to do? Morton, what are we doing?
That's what I'd like to do. You can all make your own decisions. I'm not going to
Peach?
force you into anything.
Shopping can wait. Everything can wait.
So can a crew if we're not going to be safe sailing that ship.
Well, I was going to say, I think one thing that we should look for is obviously the killer. Where do you go to hire a killer other than, a rundown tavern that ruffians like to go to?
Merle.
Possibly.
Merle.
Parker and Demi's expression would be the exact same if that was out. No.
I'm trying to get the crowd to start chanting.
You hear the miners just Merle.
Morton, we're alone in the room. It's just us.
No! Oh no! I don't know what to do with my hands.
Whoop! Josh is leaving. So early on. So early on. No! Come back!
You saw my terrible hair with my hat off. What have I done?
You
What?
did it.
Clip it!
Don't clip it.
Don't-
Chat.
I meant get a haircut, but I'm kidding.
There's one way to get this entire party killed, and it's clipping that segment. No, I'm kidding.
It's too late.
All right.
Hey.
All right. What are we gonna do?
So
No, I don't think that the tavern is really open yet anyway. So if we went to see her first, maybe then we could learn. The more information we know going into a tavern, trying to find out about a killer, maybe the better.
So she's going to be very upset. So just before we go and get there and whatever, don't be surprised if she assumes that we did it.
But we didn't.
We did not.
So
But I'm just saying, don't be upset if fingers start getting pointed at us. Hopefully,
That's fine.
other people have more sense than that. But let's go to not Solomore's mansion, Prime Waters, and
Okay.
see what we can find. And oh, I hate this.
Monastrad, what are the stakes for you?
What
in
I
all
mean,
this?
we're here to bring the town into alignment with Keolan's goals and ambitions. And this is spreading discourse and chaos. Everybody's on edge now. We're losing leadership. And it benefits us, full transparency, to have more loyalist members on the council, but with Gillen dead, there's going to be an election.
What's that?
I don't know, but I feel like somebody's trying to pit us against each other.
Well, then the question becomes, who benefits the most from discourse within the council?
That is a very good question.
This was not what I planned to do when I left my boat. All right. Anyone else plan on getting involved in politics when they were older? Because that wasn't my thing.
Nope.
What?
Okay, nothing more. Let's go.
I've got to write some letters to the crown. I'm going to stay here.
Thank you for telling us.
Look, whatever you say to do or choose to do, you're not obligated to stay, but stay safe.
You do
Thank
the
you.
same, please.
Do we know where Prime Water's mansion is?
Gillen Primewater's mansion is right on the main street. It's actually almost directly across from the stables.
So we get paid, right?
No, you got paid at the actual council hall.
No, the first time.
That was
That was
Solomore.
Solomore.
That was Solomore.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solomore was the original contract holder with you all.
That's what I thought we were talking about. My bad.
Yeah,
And now he pays our bills.
he does pay all of your bills pretty much because
Even our
We should probably-
non-existent ones.
Probably a.
You start creating new bills for
even the fake bills that you guys have been making for him to pay. Poor
Yeah,
bastard.
my bad. She'll feel bad about that later.
Free
Wow,
stuff.
we can make so much money if we just split the profit with the businesses. Sorry, I just completely stole a deer from the Name of the Wind.
Wait a sec.
Yeah, sorry.
All right,
We go to the next.
onward and upward.
Okay,
So
both.
you make your way back through town. I assume skirting the bridge. For those of you who now
No.
can do so, you cross it.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I do walk around it on the water.
Perfect.
I turn into a horse,
I
Then we
get
can
on the
continue.
horse.
Okay.
Can
and I
ask
test
with
out.
with this river how wide the river is?
Yes. So 2 things. Morton, as you step out
As a horse.
as a horse, you good? You stay. You take a few steps, kind of awkwardly, like a deer, like Bambi.
Yes, much like a
and then
deer.
with the legs kind of spread a little bit, and then kind of balance out and get yourself back into your regal posture. You are currently standing atop the water.
I started doing like donuts and started like running around circles
Yeah.
on the water.
Just holding on. Just
A
like
few
that.
people have stopped and are like, "What?" There's like some little kids up on the bridge, like, "Eh."
I don't know what horse tricks are, but I do some horse tricks.
You do a wheelie.
I do like an
Like-
ollie.
You
What's
do-
a horse ollie?
A
No.
wheelie.
Wow.
A horse wheelie.
If you ever
I'll do
ever
some
ridden horse-
dressage. some
Dressage.
dressage.
There you go.
Dressage.
Across the water?
Okay.
Canter across the water.
Zal, the river here is probably about 100 feet across. It's fairly wide. But it very rapidly widens almost immediately after the bridge. This is where it narrows, and this is where kind of the fresh water hits the salt water of the Azure Sea. The rest of it is almost like a kind of widening tributary out into the sea proper. And you could see not far the Sea Ghost docked just across as Morton is kind of galloping across the water in the direction. You can see the Sea Ghost docked up across in the tributary there.
I'm gonna take the bridge. I was gonna try to jump it, but I'm gonna take the bridge.
All right. Yeah, it's not a jumpable river. It's fairly wide.
That's why I asked, because I was like, I got these new boots and I can jump pretty
Pretty
far.
far,
And then you said 100, and I said that's not a number I can jump yet.
So you guys just completely opposed to the bridge. So as
Well,
Peach, are
wow.
you crossing the bridge as well?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, beautiful. So you guys, as Morton and Demi kind of canter across the open water and come back up around, you make your way across the bridge and are reunited with your peers.
Peach is cheering for the tricks the whole time. This is the best.
Haha.
Nice. Beautiful. And you kind of see, like, it's weird. There are buildings on top of this bridge. Again, it's a very old bridge, but there are, like, houses that have been built at spots along the bridge, just a few. And there's gaps. There's places where you can see the water directly in either direction, but there are these, like, long, narrow houses atop the bridge as you kind of walk across. Just kind of popped up on top of it. You make
I
your way
imagine no Fae live in any of these.
I think you
I
probably...
No
mean,
one-
according to them, probably not, because they probably feel like
Mostly just human and dwarfs, right?
Sick all the time.
Mostly just
that's
human
strange.
dwarves,
Yeah. I mean, unless that's what they want to feel like. I doubt anybody would want to feel sick all the time, but could judge you, you know.
So,
So we're looking for the biggest house, most guards.
and as you kind of make your way back past the snapping line, past the armor on the corner, and just kind of up around the corner a little bit, there is a very big, tall house with a small yard in front of it and wrought iron. It's like a half stone, half wrought iron fence with like a big ornate gate in the front. Again, not quite the size and scale of Solomore's mansion up on the hill, but a fairly large abode. And you see guards just milling about all over the place. Clearly not sure what to do with themselves given what is going on.
Do we see Solomore?
You do not as you glance around.
So, you know what we didn't think about?
What?
How are we getting past the guards?
We're gonna say hi.
Oh,
Mhm.
On the
or
horse.
oh wait, she's gonna get off of Morton. Thanks, Morton. This blue person just riding up on a horse. So I can technically, let's see if if the guard thing will work first, and then I technically could, send a message to Solomon, but I can only do that one more time, and we also have the ambassador, and I feel a little bad because Oceanus is sitting on the ship that may be tied to all of this.
I don't like that.
Snap to Oceanus, he's just sunbathing.
Right, he's probably fine.
Or dead.
Or dead.
Not Oceanus, he's just working out.
He's just working to get his abs.
Upside down on like the sail.
He's like, it's another afternoon.
Do any of the guards look more in charge than the other ones?
Not particularly. There are some individuals who look older. Most of them are like young men in their early 20s. The armor doesn't fit great. Some of them, like, the sleeves are too long and they haven't been hemmed yet, and they you just kind of don't see the hands on them, and they're just kind of standing there with when they go to hold their spear, the sleeve falls all the way down.
Are any of them looking at us?
Yeah, a few of them are just kind of like...
Okay, she's just gonna walk up to a group of them.
How are you, ma'am?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm actually, we're all looking for Master Solomon, to help with this situation.
Oh, yeah, he's right inside.
Could you get him for me, or are we allowed to go in?
Oh, yeah, 1 second. Goes inside.
Who is that? Mortin who actually said that?
I love when I can't tell if it's Mortin or Sean.
No. Mine was a bit more realistic, but he's just sitting there like watching you be sassy with this guy.
he was this redheaded kid with like this big mop of hair and just freckles running all the way down his face, and he looked like he was maybe like 19.
You have to tell me these things before
Sorry.
Before he destroys his life.
Like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, like you have to freaking tell me. She has sympathy. I was an idiot, not a kid.
The voice cracking.
Sorry.
I don't know.
It's in the middle of puberty. You're like, full time roll.
I don't know.
I'm gonna lay into this
Never
child.
too early to learn respect.
Yeah.
Well.
No. He deserved it. As you wait around a moment, a few of the other guards are a few of them are sitting on barrels, playing cards. A few of them are actually doing their job, and you can see there's more that are kind of making routes around the mansion. As you look out, it's right on the shores. This house is built up on the shore, and the street is a little bit in. There are warehouses for the fishing goods all along on either side of Prime Water's mansion. Just fishing warehouses to either side, running probably 200 feet kind of to the east and 120 feet to the west, back towards where the fishing market is.
Jesus.
So it's quite a long stretch of semi-industrial space.
For the house, is there any wall between that, or is it kind of house and then space, and then, or is it a wall around the house?
There's a wall, but the house, it's a lot of house. So the house is pretty much inside the wall. There's on the left and right side, as you're looking at the front of the house, there's about a foot between the wall and the house on either side. And then the front side has 5 feet of yard before it hits the fencing. So it's it's mostly house. There's a lot of house to be had here.
I kind of lean over to the group. That's a convenient way to get in. And I kind of point at either side where there's the house very close to the wall.
And almost immediately after the walls, because you're looking, there are warehouses as well.
Yeah.
So it's mansion, fence, warehouse.
Not the most secure location, but to be completely honest, everyone, they got into a jail, in and out, without anyone noticing. This is not surprising, and it's a little concerning. Oh.
It's more than a little concerning.
I was, just trying to downplay the situation, because I'm a little
Sorry.
stressed, but it's fine.
It's incredibly concerning.
No, keep it, 100. It's fine.
Hey, it's super duper concerning, says the
Okay.
teenager as he walks back out with Solomon.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Good to see you all again.
Howdy.
Not
So-
the best circumstances, but yes.
Right, so Manistrad filled you in?
Yes. How may we help?
I don't know. Here's what I know. Do you want to step into the main entryway?
Yes, please.
Good. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. What was your name?
I'm Carl.
Oh, thank you, Carl.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Oh, he's adorable. Okay.
Yeah, quartermaster.
Stop it. But I did write his description and his name down.
Also his address and phone number.
That we like him like, do you want a different job, Carl?
Wait, really? Doing what?
I didn't say that out loud.
okay.
Shit, I didn't say that out loud yet.
Yeah.
All right, so Solomore easily leads you into this entryway, and it is drastic, the change. It goes from this kind of muddy street side. It's a manor, which is already quite stark compared to its surroundings, but you walk in, and it is gaudy opulence.
Ew.
Out the wazoo. The white plastered walls with woodworked trim patterns worked into the wall in these lengthy panels that run the whole length, gilding everywhere, large pictures of dramatic individuals standing atop rocks with the ocean side behind them, or leaning against the prow of a vessel as sea salt sweeps up over them. Just, again, gaudy opulence everywhere. This huge wooden staircase leads up, and you notice that it's very gaudy and opulent. It's narrow, though. It's tight. This entry hall is. It's wall to wall, this kind of marble-floored entryway, and then this grand staircase takes up the majority of the room as it leads up to the second floor, with just a little bit of room to squeeze back behind it into the hallways that lead into the exterior of the interior of the house on the first floor. But again,
Demi is going to lean over to Zahl and whisper, because Zahl's going to be the only one that doesn't chide her for this. So, not to speak ill of the dead, but this is like a lot, right?
It's way too much.
Yeah.
This is
Like, what was he thinking?
honestly like not to be that guy, but like.
And it's smaller than Solomon, so like, it doesn't.
Nice either.
Okay, that's fine. We're fine.
That was amazing.
Back up. Have like this like smirk on his face.
Just like,
Beautiful. So
How does this compare to the other buildings I've been inside of?
very opulent, and a different opulence to Solomore's. Solomore's was also very opulent. There was some tackiness to it as well, but everything was well made in Solomore's mansion. Some of it is very well made, some of it is not.
Okay.
And there's a
So
little
this is
bit
just this is what rich people do.
This is what rich people do. To you, you probably wouldn't be able to differentiate between the two.
Yeah, they're the exact same house.
Yeah, you're not sure if it is the same house or not. You may have been here earlier. But as you walk in, Solomore is standing there, and you see his butler, Scarin, is just off to the side, kind of watching you all. Gives you a nod. Solomore kind of says, so, Odafina is upstairs in the master bedroom with Zahl's Bard.
mm-hmm.
She's been sobbing now for about 3 hours, quietly. I've tried speaking with her a few times. She hasn't come out.
Is that body in there?
Yes.
I'm mildly concerned. You can't break the door down? Like, that's weird, right? Like, there's a grieving period for sure, but, like, maybe not the best idea. That's not the best way to go about that.
Well, she somehow got a dresser in front of the door. So it would be quite literally battering our way in, and this is delicate. I'm not sure if you're up on the details, but...
Yes.
Is there a balcony on the other side? Because you could always just go in through.
Or we could talk
hadn't.
to her
We should
through
just
the
talk.
door.
Also an option, yes.
Just saying, if we want to talk to her in person and see the body, then we could.
Maybe we can get her to open the door. Peach is very nice.
True.
So you're here to help us, then? You're going to...
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes, because, you know, we're I wasn't his biggest fan, but nobody, deserves to die like that. And also, if this is all tied back to that smuggling deal that we did had to handle for you, we're currently living on that boat when we're not here. So
Wait, I've been paying for your rooms.
yeah, when we're not here, we live on that boat.
Well, remember we went to go deal with the lizard problem.
Never mind, it's irrelevant. There's a dead man. All right, we'll yes.
Perfect. Thanks.
So
Now-
It's also like nickels to him.
Yeah, right. It's chump change. Leave
he
me
can be
alone.
rich and cheap, Sean.
Yeah, he could buy that place every day for a year, and he'd be like, "Nah, it's an inconvenience to my wealth."
Mild inconvenience. We're pulling like the bank fee from his
We found the
account.
1%.
Peach just realized that this is the kind of guy who tips like nothing and is just staring at Solomon.
He tried to cut Morton real low to save not that much gold in the grand scheme of it.
200 gold versus 2 silver. That's what he tried to do.
Yeah.
So,
Would've taken it.
is there anything that you know that we should know? Is Ada here? Have you talked to her at all? Also, because there's been another murder, please tell me that you've checked on the ambassador.
So everybody's been checked on.
Thank you.
Please don't roll your eyes when I say this. There's been guards sent everywhere.
You have to physically watch her try not to do it. She's just purposefully blinking.
Are the ones that were on duty last night still here?
We didn't have guards. Well, we had guards outside the house, but they might be. I hadn't thought of that. They should have been sent back for leave by now. They would have gone to Eliander's. It's been 5 or 6 hours since their shift. But Ada, I had guards check on her, and she did come down for a little bit, but while sad about Gellin, she has limited patience for a young woman who's locked herself in a room, and she went back to her business.
Oh. That's unfortunate. I
That
assumed they would have been closer.
that sounds worse than I'm. No, they didn't really like each other very much.
Oh. Wait, hold on.
Really?
Wait.
What?
I know this isn't really, my city, and I don't know why I keep getting involved in its politics, but I was under the impression that you kind of lean whatever way the wind blows, and that they were the loyalist, and
You have no idea, my dear.
I don't want to know, sir. So,
Peach is
so
glaring.
don't want to know. I so don't want to know.
So,
Oh my god.
Sorry.
So, back to the, a man died, sir. So,
Sorry.
Is Demi? Oh no, Parker froze. Oh, Parker's
No,
back.
no, she's thinking. She's thinking.
Okay.
you're good. You're back.
oh my
back.
god!
Yeah.
Why does this keep happening to me? Because I was talking. Sorry. What was the last thing you heard?
We heard you go
So-
and then silent because you were contemplating.
Oh
The
yeah, I was
meaning.
A
really.
man
I-
died here.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thanks. So again, I was under the impression that you were in the middle, and then they were on the same side, quote unquote.
I mean, they're on the same side, but Gellin was foppish. He liked to party and drink and be ridiculous. Ada is a very practical woman. And good God, could Gellin party? Despite being an angry little man, he threw some parties, but
I'm learning so much.
Ada didn't really care much for that, so they both respected the history of this wonderful town and care greatly for it, and aligned from that political perspective, but to say they were friends would be an overstatement. Acquaintances, colleagues.
Oh, well, ugh. All right, a little different. So, how do you think we're going to be received if we try and talk to this girl? I say girl, she's only like a couple years younger than I am.
I would wager that she's I don't know. I don't know what Gellin has said about you. We all know he wasn't a
probably
fan
not.
of you.
Oh, imagine that.
Which is why I'm, all for you helping, but please do consider the ramifications of how you handle this.
Why does she blame the law? Why does she blame the other side of this conflict? I don't know.
Well, I would wager that Gillen was quite privy to the fact that eyes were on him. And that we were very close to establishing a connection to his connection to smuggling.
All right.
I would wager he probably did not talk or speak highly of the Loyalists. Again, I spent time with him, and I kind of walk the narrow line between the two, and even in our conversations, he certainly didn't appreciate their involvement. So him thinking that they're targeting him, it's possible. She could have come to her own decisions as well. I mean, you were made privy to these issues quite early on. I think a lot of the town is aware as well.
All right.
Can you pronounce her name again?
This is
Odafina.
for Peach too.
Odephina.
Odophilia.
Is it
Right?
Odophilia? What did I say the first time?
You said Odafina, which is my little
Yeah,
gnome
her
character.
gnome.
Oh my god, it was
I know
Odophilia.
that, man.
No wonder I switched.
Odophilia.
I'm pretty sure I said Odophilia the first time, right?
You did.
Odophilia is the name I call her gnome, so that's maybe what you got confused.
So
Now
Heaven
I'm
forbid
just
anyone
confused.
remember by now.
okay,
Odophilia.
I remember your gnome well, Parker.
Thanks.
10 out of 10 character.
Excellent.
Where's Odophilia's mother?
Oh.
She passed a long time ago.
So this girl just became an orphan.
Well, she,
21.
with all due respect, she just inherited the Prime Water estate.
I don't think that's
It
the
doesn't
point.
sound like she cares.
I understand that, but I'm just saying she's not an orphan. She's just...
Peach does not like this guy.
You don't.
Solomor sucks.
You don't have to be destitute and broke to be an orphan. You just have to lack parents.
I'm
But-
sorry. I'm not an orphan expert. Excuse
I
me.
love it. Orphans are inherently poor, right? I just
Two
assumed.
orphans.
So,
I,
if you're
I,
poor, you're an orphan.
I don't know anything about orphans. I'm sorry.
None of the poor people have parents. None of them.
Kind of Scarin actually like clears his throat. That Master Solomon, the matter of the woman, Odophilia.
Oh right, back on track. So let's go try and talk through a door. Peach, if you like, persuasive, or
Not unpersuasive. I think you're more persuasive, but let's go talk to her.
let's go see what happens.
Do you want
I'm
to
gonna-
solve a
I'm gonna-
murder?
I'm gonna put my arms on Peach's shoulder and I'm gonna say, "You got this. You're a good talker." And I'm gonna cast enhance ability.
Okay.
Mortin, I
giving
totally
you,
believe in you, but
giving you Eagle's Splendor, which is advantage on charisma checks.
Oh yeah, nice, nice.
If I can get eyes on her, I could always cast suggestion and ask. Nice. to
Let's-
meet you."
Zol, no.
I love how that's always second. How can we sneak in? How can we convince you with magic?
I'm not trying. I'm just. It's an option on the
I-
table.
I know,
Yes,
do.
but as soon as you push, but then she's gonna open the door and absolutely not trust us. So
She's gonna hate me, so I figured.
let's
Opens
go.
the door. I go, hey, keep the door open, and then she leaves the door open.
Let's just see if we can come about this without, altering someone's mental state for a little bit.
Gotcha.
She's probably gone through enough.
Gotcha.
So Solomor leads you up the grand staircase, and then kind of hooks to the left down a well furnished hallway with long kind of carpets and tapestries, so on and so forth. You reach the end of the hallway. There's a few rooms going off in different directions to your right and left as you go down, but at the end of the hallway there's this big door with ornate trim running down it, and you can readily hear, all of you, soft sobbing coming from within.
On their way there, because Demi is a paranoid person, she's gonna cast Sending. And to Oceanus, because the ambassador's already gotten checked on. So don't freak out. This is Demi. Be safe on the ship. There's been another murder. Be back soon. Thanks. It's 25.
He can respond, right?
Yes, he can respond.
So, you're speaking into people's minds now.
Shit, she can't respond.
Right. I will keep track of things and stay on my guard. Do you need me to do anything? I'm just doing sit-ups and things.
That's where it cuts.
I'm just doing
cut.
Don't know what he's doing, but he seems fine. Just gonna get back to the boat later. What were you doing?
Pilates.
You'd better be shirtless when you get back.
Shirtless? I can't tell if that was Peach or Button. I love the mutual group thirst for this one character. This one old character.
I'm just feeding that fire.
You are.
It's great. I love it. I love it so much.
Okay, so we got to the door.
Okay, you hear gentle sobbing. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are the pictures, like you said, there's tapestries on the wall? Are they like actual pictures, or are they like him?
Some of them are actual pictures. Some of them are tapestries. You see some really neat ones, like hearkening to grand fights between winged humanoids and of different colors with radiant light shining through and massive flames. You see like these stories being told on some of these tapestries. You see paintings of who you assume are family members. Again, similar to the ones downstairs, all in dramatic poses, looking heroic. But
I lean over to Demi before we get to the door, and I'm like, God, these are just... He was...
Reel up his own ass, yes.
I feel not to be that guy, but... Wow.
Yeah, get it out now.
Solomon just goes,
us to say any of this.
And I'm the bad guy for not knowing what orphans are like.
Shut up.
Yeah. Actually.
And Parker had the exact same reaction of...
He goes quiet. It's just like...
to the orphan.
Good job.
Immediately silenced him.
Oh, God.
At the door. Woohoo.
All right.
Lean their head up against the door. Odophilia?
The sobbing kind of continues for a moment, and then there's a pause and silence. Go away.
You want us to go away, but I think you might need someone to stay.
I don't need anybody. Go. Who are? I don't even know who you are.
My name's Peach, like the fruit.
What do you want from me, Peach, like the fruit?
I like to not make sure you're okay. I know you're not okay. But you probably need things. They said you've been crying for a while. Do you need water? Do you need food? Do you need a hug? Do you need some? I like stuffed animals when I'm sad. Don't want a person to hug you.
There's still silence behind the door, but I'm gonna have you roll persuasion with all of the boons and benefits provided by your party members.
Advantage.
Excellent. All right. So that's a 17 plus. Is it
Do you want to build a
Persuasion?
snowman?
plus 1? So 18.
18.
Just checking. You did roll twice?
You did with advantage?
Oh, I'm dumb.
You're not dumb.
All right. So it's still the same.
Okay.
Lower.
Shh. You don't hear anything moving, but the silence breaks. My father's dead. And it's because of this foolishness with the loyalists and the... What am I supposed to do without him? He was all I had.
I can't imagine what you're going through, but I imagine it's even worse to be going through it alone.
How can I trust you? You want me to let you in? I can't trust anybody.
Heard in a story once someone say that fear is the mind killer. And I think if you let yourself be afraid of everyone, there won't be much of you left.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Demi looks
Alright,
very
alright,
impressed.
alright. That's a 19 plus 1. It's the slutty 20.
It's a 20?
A slutty 1.
Okay.
It's not a nat 20.
There's another long pause. Then you hear weight shift that sounds like somebody leaning against the weight that was leaning against the door. There's kind of a slight creak. And then you hear a... And you hear kind of this armoire dresser, something being pushed across the wooden floor. There's then another pause. And then the handle slowly turns. The door cracks open, and you see a face kind of peek through the space initially that's open. It's not all the way open. Young face, a single strand of like black hair, like a lock kind of hanging in front of her face. The rest of it done up in what was a bun, but it's somewhat fallen apart. There is bloodstains kind of running where you see she's probably been pressed against her father, kind of down along, dappling across a light blue dress that is quite well made, very beautiful dress, with the stains kind of running across the upper shoulder here and then down onto the breast a little bit. Her eyes are puffy red, her nose too raw. Who are you?
Can we get... I'm Peach. I'm really nobody.
That's not true.
And this is... Peach ignores that. And this is Demi Waters.
Hello.
And this is Mortin the Will. And this is Zahl. And that's Solomore. Solomore, can you go get water and maybe snacks and a blanket? Go away.
Scarin, can you go get water, snacks, and a blanket?
No.
What?
You could go help him.
Roll persuasion for me real quick.
That is... Where's my persuasion? That would be a 21.
Perfectly good manservant. I don't see why I have to... Mutters as he walks away with Scarin.
The fact that you just said
I hate him.
manservant. Maybe we should take the butler. Alright.
Quartermaster.
You'd probably be really good at it. Okay, so now that they're gone, thank God.
You've given me your name, but who are you? Why are you here? What is your connection to all of this? And she still hasn't opened the door all the way.
We're... It's not a good thing that this has happened to multiple people in this town now, and we'd like it to not happen anymore, and we'd like to find out who did it, which I think you might too.
And you can do this? How? How can you...
We don't know if we can, but we'd like to try.
She kind of chokes back tears again. You see tightness in her throat, and she closes the door again, and there's a chink. Chain comes off. It swings open.
Would you like a hug, or would you rather not have a hug?
No.
Okay.
And you can see in the room behind her, it's this massive four-poster bed with this gaudy purple thing hanging around it, paintings everywhere, tables, the armoire off to the left, and there is a body laid out on the bed. She looks at you all. If you can find out, truly find out who did this, then who... And she's looking at you all now and starting to kind of see through the tears and puffiness. You're the ones who boarded the Sea Ghost.
Yes.
We fought pirates. It was a little scary. I'm a little afraid of the water.
Not good.
Pirates?
Mm-hmm.
No, you fought my father's men.
Smugglers.
Call them what you will. And there's like,
do.
she draws
You
her
do.
shoulders back a little bit in response to that, and there's a little less of the forward, there's a little pride in her stance.
You do realize that we never intended for that to happen. We were hired by the council your father was on. We didn't know whose men they were. And the council didn't seem to care.
Roll persuasion.
Come on, babe. Okay. That is an 18 plus 8.
Okay, fucking parts.
Jesus.
Thank you, I forgive you.
She kind of slouches forward again, almost as if giving up. as if it's not worth arguing this with you, as if she's seen her father fight this fight with hundreds of people, and that she doesn't see it worth her time anymore. She just kind of retreats backwards a little bit and says, fine. Think what you will.
Our simple intention here is only to help. We don't want to cause anything. We simply just want to help in any way that we can.
She looks at Zahl and says, then help. Speak with your words, or don't speak with your words, Jesus. Don't speak. Prove with your actions. And as that kind of Scarron reappears, carrying blankets and a pitcher of water and some glasses, and Solomore's behind him not carrying anything, and kind of
I
walks
instruct him to go back and get the snacks that we requested.
He kind of, shit. All right. Goes back to get the snacks.
I love that Mortin was not.
Where's my gummies?
He's being rude.
Where's my snacks?
What's the butler's name again?
Pardon?
What's the butler's name again?
Scarron Wave Chaser.
Scarron.
Thank you, Scarron.
Oh yeah, that's a bitchin' name. I've heard that before.
Delighted, ma'am.
Is he delighted?
He shows literally no emotion in any way, shape, or form. And hasn't ever.
I love it.
I think he shows irritation when people speak illy of Solomore, and that's about it.
When he
Poor guy.
when he says that, I just point at him and go, "Quartermaster."
No.
What's,
No.
what's
Okay.
Not important right now. All right. Which I don't mean to be insensitive at all. Would you like to no longer have blood on your dress?
She kind of looks down. And again, there's a moment of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool. Demi's gonna cast Prestidigitation.
Oh.
And clean her dress of blood and herself of blood, no matter how many times the cantrip needs. Foot by foot. She'll make sure that there's no blood on this little girl. Poor girl.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And she kind of walks over, and Scarron just has kind of set things down, and there she takes a blanket, wraps it around herself, and then begins to immediately drink an entire glass of water, clearly like parched. Solomore returns with a tray of like cheeses, cured meats, and things like that. Kind of gives her a nod, and she kind of nods at him. It's a familiar face. There's some embarrassment there, but an understanding, obviously, as to what's happened. And then he sets the tray down on a little coffee table, tea table. She moves over, takes a seat, begins to eat.
Demi would like to walk over while Peach, I guess, is still talking to and look at the body.
Okay.
I want to go with Demi, if that's alright.
Zahl and Demi heading towards the body. Peach?
Peach is gonna ask her, are you ready to have people ask you questions, or do you need some time?
I'm ready.
What, how long ago did you find him?
My father loved the finer things in life, so he often slept in a little late, drinking and carousing and being a fool. So I didn't come and check on him until the later hours of the morning.
Did he do the carousing and acting a fool last night?
Not to his greatest extent. She kind of glances over, and it appears like you can see there's a table over to one side in like a back corner that has a glass canister, like very well done crystal with some sort of beverage and some drinks in it. It's not emptied, but it looks used. I mean, he always had brandy. But there was no party, which is where he tended to really get out of hand. It was a
Didn't have any.
tame night.
Didn't have any guests.
No.
You didn't hear anything during the night?
Nothing. My room's on the other end, the other wing. But nothing. Oh, I've been a fool. People could have been looking at what happened this entire time.
I think you're allowed your feelings, Odophilia.
She kind of looks up at you. And then kind of puts her head down, and again there's soft sobbing.
Sorry.
Whoops!
I love Peach so much.
She doesn't know whether or not to tap her shoulder or not.
I broke it.
Upper handing.
Ooh. Would you still not like a hug? No is valid.
I'm fine. And it's through like ragged breaths. She's still afraid. You get that kind of feeling like this was a murder, and she feels as though her family has, just in the conversations you've had with her, her family has been targeted by the entire population. Those of you investigating the body, how are you doing so? I'll give you basics as you walk right up.
I have a passive investigation of 14.
Also true. But it just as you walk up to the body on the bed, he's been turned onto his back. You're not sure if he died like that or not. The blankets have been pushed away, and you can see pools and spatterings of blood on the blankets. He's wearing like silk briefs, for lack of a better word, with a pendant around his neck that looks to be the family crest. There is smudges of blood where it's been pressed against him or smeared. You kind of get the feeling that that was from Odophilia. Dang it. Shouldn't have done that name. Totally.
Man.
But the wound is very clearly a clean cut straight across the throat. The pattern of the cut is very clean, but then as you look, kind of, there's blood spattering. You're not sure about anything beyond that without a better investigation on the bed itself.
Just to clarify, I actually wasn't going into that room.
So you stayed out?
Yes.
Good. Let me know if you want to do anything with Mortin.
There are two things I wanted to do, but I can handle those at any time.
Okay. How do you proceed, Demi and Zahl?
Demi is trying to see if the cut, does she need to investigate for if the cut looks the same as what happened in the jail?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. Yes. Zahl, you can either do it with advantage, or Zahl can roll his own as well.
What do you want?
Yeah, I'll roll 1, 2.
Okay. I got a 17.
17, okay.
I got a 14, so.
14. With anything, so a 17, you are able to ascertain that it is certainly a very similar way to die, Not exactly the same as every single instance, but uncannily similar with the way Sanballat died, in regards to they were both sleeping when they were killed. Down to, as you look at the fabric, and you catch this as well, Zahl, it looks like there was a little bit of thrashing as this person... I'm sorry, can I just say, like, a slight trigger warning here to chat, because this is getting overly graphic, so if you are not comfortable with this, step away for just a minute, and I apologize for not saying that sooner. Also, to anybody in the party, if you're not feeling comfortable, I think we're all okay, but just give it a minute there. Just slight.
If you want to, like, we'll put in chat when it's like, you know, triggers are passed.
Yeah, just go ahead and mute now, and we'll say trigger is passed. Okay. So there is some patterning of blood splattering to either side as the person thrashed slightly as their life drained from them from the cut. But it is very professional. Again, hearkening to...
I did want to kind of look around the room to see if there was any sign of entry, in the sense of like a broken window, if it was like a door, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So as you step away from the body, and as Demi continues to investigate, I assume, I'm going to go to Mortin really quick, and then we'll come back to you, Zahl, to do some further investigation there.
Cool. Absolutely.
Mortin.
Okay. So first, I wanted to look around the house, just the interior, for any sort of signs of them having like a pet or a dog or something, maybe like a painting of her and an animal.
Sure, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Shit! I will guidance myself.
Go ahead
Sorry,
and do that.
Peach. You lose
It's
your...
not like a crazy high DC on this with Morton's.
I know, but I'm an idiot. Never mind. I'm a smart guy.
I'm the smartest of boys.
I'm a smart boy. So that's an 18.
An 18. As you kind of like begin to wander a little bit down the hallway back, you glance up to one painting, and there's a very new painting of Odophilia with a kind of silver hair, long-haired cat sitting atop her lap.
A new painting.
Fairly new, yeah.
Okay, and have we seen any signs of that cat being here?
Glancing around, you see specks of, with your like intuition for these things, you see cat hair in spots. Again, they keep it pretty clean.
Yeah.
But there's, you know, spots where the cat is like rubbed against a low-lying tapestry, and there's flecks of silver cat hair.
Okay. So now the first thing has split off into two. I will try and find that cat.
Okay.
But first, I'm going to go back to Peach and Odophilia.
Peach, okay. Go ahead and make your way back.
Is she still crying? Or are you guys still talking? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll approach her and I say, if there's anything we can do to make you feel better, please don't hesitate to ask. I noticed that you had an animal. Are they still with you?
Are you talking about Gerard?
I believe that's the one in the painting.
My cat, yes. He should be. Gerard! Gerard! And she still seems like in that half daze, like not entirely committed to this. But you do hear a tink, tink as a little bell comes jingling down the hallway. And we're going to go to Zahl.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm back.
What are you looking for, my friend?
So I wanted to kind of like not go too away from the body, but like kind of look around, like, because I assume there's a couple of windows in the room, stuff like that, like all the entryways, and see if there's a sign of maybe a forced entry or like somebody picked their way in, if there's any signs of that.
Absolutely. Roll an investigation check.
Absolutely, my friend. Demi stole her luck back. God damn. That's a 10. That's a solid 10.
The one thing that you can tell is that one of the windows, while closed, as you just go to opens. The other one is locked.
Okay.
Beyond that, you're not certain with that roll.
Well, and I kind of look over at Demi. That's interesting. There's a window open. Well, that can be opened, but the other one's locked. I think inside job or.
Well, and she's going to be whispering.
Yeah, this is whispering.
She's getting like very close and as far away from the girl as possible. It could have been. I have a really bad feeling that they're cutting loose ends.
I was gonna ask you if I don't think we left anybody on the ship, but I mean, it's 2 people in a row. We need to find out if he had a business partner.
If they worked for someone, they're working for Solomon, or not Solomon. They were working for Primewater, but if they've got to be working for someone.
Yeah.
And if there's someone above Primewater that realized that they knew the council and the town were figuring it out, then they probably would take their business elsewhere. And Sanbalat messed up, obviously. We're really gonna have to repaint my boat. Yeah, I worry about that. Can she also investigate the window? And see if she sees anything different?
Ahead if you want to, sure. Just kind of after the specific one that Zahl has pointed out, now your guys are scrutinizing together.
That is a 22.
A 22.
Whew,
with a 22, the reason Zahl didn't catch this is this was very well lockpicked from the outside.
Okay. Is there a balcony or anything out there, or is it just a windowsill?
As you kind of stick your head out the window and look out, it is a straight drop to the wrought iron fence, and then a steep decline, erosion into the Azure Sea and the bay. And you see there's debris floating out around there, it's backed straight onto the water.
So, not ixnaying the idea of an inside job, but an inside from the outside job. I've never been very good at lockpicking, but this one would be what it would look like if I was. It very good. But no, they picked it. Which also, are they a spider? Do you see where this goes? It's.
I pop my head out to look too.
Are they flying? People can do that eventually.
They can also
right?
be like spiders and walk on walls.
I hate that. I hate that.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, I hate that.
Pretty cool.
Demi's imagining somebody walking up a wall like a spider, and she hates it. So gross. Yeah, I'm thinking this is definitely a professional, and I would go for the loose ends thing, which is only mildly concerning, and we might have to ask our heiress if she knows anyone else that might be involved, because somebody else might be in danger. She might be in danger. But that doesn't make sense. They were already here. Sorry.
The only thing that I was thinking about was, look at where this goes. It goes to the sea, right?
Yes.
Who do we know who's a problem in the sea right now, and who were his associates helping?
You think?
Yeah.
Oh.
What if it's a shark?
Oh, what if it's a xenophobic shark person?
Yeah. I forgot what they were called. So that's
Swaggin.
I like xenophobic shark people more.
It's an apt description. Literally taken straight from the DMs or from the Saltmarsh book.
So what if maybe a Swaggin is coming up and committing these murders? It's just a thought, but I know that the prison isn't that close, but You could swim down that river. I mean, it's pretty wide. Swim down it, jump on the shore, run up, do your thing. People are shocked because they're not going to expect a shark person. And this is all in whisper, by the way. I just can't talk low, or you won't pick me up.
Yeah. No, I appreciate. The audience
Just wanna be
appreciates it.
honest.
I'm assuming that you guys are working with
Yeah.
tact and.
Yeah.
Can I just, for clarification,
Yes, sir.
ask where this house is? Is it 28?
So, if we look at the map, the Prime Water Mansion should
Sorry
be.
for chat.
Excuse us, chat. Sorry, I'm looking at a different location right now. Party. It should be, I believe, it's 16 or 18. Let me just double check.
The
Gotcha,
Conundrum
okay.
Stables, right?
Yeah. So it's like it's
Yeah.
backed. It's one of those two backed directly on the water.
Okay.
I don't
That's
have
why I was confused, because I thought it was 28 for some reason. I was like, there's no water near that.
No.
Where's the
This is
water?
this is in the docks, like the fishing docks.
Gotcha.
This house is situated directly in the middle of it. It's this big opulent mansion in the middle of the fishing docks. Like it's
Okay,
very
perfect.
weird.
That makes a lot more sense.
Just from
Thank you.
if that helps.
They're like, huh, this seems weird. It's landlocked.
It's all grass.
A sea of grass spreads out.
Outer
Outer
It's a
body
land
experience.
guard.
As you guys are speculating, Demi and Zahl, we'll jump back to Mortin, Peach, and Ophelia.
Peach is going to. Is she still crying?
It's
Crying still happening.
it's just a little bit of ragged breathing, and she's actually now reaching for the plate of food and has begun to kind of pick things from it. Not like that, Sad. Just sob eating. My feelings. No, just like
Oh,
very,
no.
very delicate. Like, I don't know what Morton's doing.
That's how she eats.
Oh, got it. Yeah, she's like, but yeah, she's not quite. It's kind of again pulled back,
Gotcha.
and you do hear this jingling of the cat coming. Go ahead, Peach. I'm sorry.
Exciting.
I'll excuse myself, so I'll be right back, and I'll head towards the jingling.
Excellent.
Head towards the jingling.
Oh my gosh! If you come back as two of her cats, so
I hadn't even thought of that, but it might happen.
yes. Peach is just going to try and do their best to think like Zahl and Demi.
Cool.
Horrible idea, really.
All right.
Inadvisable on all ends.
And they're going to ask her, when your father would have these parties or anything, did you ever meet people he worked with? Do you know who? Ophelia, I'm worried that people your father worked with might be in trouble too. Or might know something, which is better.
The
Maybe.
council,
Council.
smugglers, Sandbalot, Sigurd.
That was the captain. My bad.
They would mostly it was the council who would come to the events, and not often Ada or Manister. It was mostly he hung out with Solomon. Spent time with Solomon, and sometimes Eleander would make an appearance. Other well-to-do captains would come by, but
And you think that it's the loyalists who did this. Why do you think
who
they would have
else?
decided
What grand scheme could there possibly be?
nearly quoted Hamlet, but Peach wouldn't do that. No, there are more things in this world than we can dream of. More schemes, more plot, but there's more good too.
Well, if there is somebody else, I can't think of who.
Is there something we can do to make you feel safer?
Find out who did this and why.
And if we find out that it isn't the Loyalists, would that be something you're willing to accept in your mind? Because it might not be.
I'm young, but I'm not a fool.
I don't think you're a fool. You don't seem like a fool at all. You seem very level-headed. I can't imagine what I would be doing in your shoes.
If you find evidence to the contrary, fine. I think I need to step out of this room for a moment if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
Kind of gets up and walks across the room, and Solomor nods to Scarin, who kind of goes with her, just kind of ushering her out. You just kind of see her head down out of the room a little ways.
Solomor's still in the room?
Solomor is in the room, just standing by the door.
Peach's demeanor is going to change very much.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Solomor, who do you think did it?
Who, me?
Is this loud enough that we can hear it?
Yep.
Yeah, this is just straight into the room.
Demi does that whistle.
I don't know. I mean, look, I know Manistrad and Eliander. I don't think they'd do this. I don't know. Why would the Crown spend all of these resources, open this mine, bring in the army to create chaos that will make them the bad guys? That makes no sense to me. So I respect Odophilia's perspective, Ada's perspective. I understand that. I try, but I don't know. And you may roll insight if you'd like to, because I feel like that was the intent there.
I rolled a 6, and I
watched
might have
too
a
far
plus
away.
1.
Right.
Yeah.
He's kind of you could. What's your passive insight, Morton?
22.
Okay,
perception.
9.
you are
Insight.
like, as this is happening, just to build the
Wait,
scene. You're all in the room.
Did you want perception or insight?
Insight.
17.
17. Okay. As you're like you walk to the door and look down, and kind of the cat stops in front of you, and then Odophilia and Scarin walk past you, and the cat is looking up at you as you just kind of glance over at Solomor as Peach is kind of throwing this question at him. Peach, he's kind of like blathery and off, and you're not sure. Morton, he seems genuine.
Okay.
Any other
Are you
questions?
worried for?
Sorry.
Yes. Solomor, are you worried for yourself?
Who would kill me? Oh. I suppose I should be. Well, now, yes. But I care about the people of Saltmarsh. I'm not going to step down from my post.
Why aren't you a loyalist or a traditionalist? What drives... This is a very personal question. What drives you?
The disembodied voice that just made a weird noise is correct. No. Traditionalist and loyalist is poppycock. The Crown will bring good things here, but they don't need to be overhanded or heavy-handed in their intentions. I came from Seaton. In Seaton, the Crown was far too heavy-handed, and now there's very little beyond military action there. So I walk the balance. We shouldn't be smuggling. Money should come into this place. That is my perspective. My intent has always been to help with the peace as best I can. What motivates me? My bottom line, but also a respect for these people. Mortin, he still seems sincere in this.
Okay.
Albeit a bit of an idiot.
Obviously. So stupid.
Is that Mortin or John?
What a moron.
Not in the traditional sense, but
I know. Arrogant.
yeah, coddled.
Mm-hmm.
Know anything about politics, you guys? My mom's a scullery maid. I don't understand. I don't have what I feel like should be a nuanced perspective of the situation. And I would like you, Solomor, to explain to me what you think happened.
I don't know. I genuinely don't. I know a man was murdered. I know he had questionable contacts and connections to individuals who work outside of the law. I know a young woman lost her father. I know that these conflicts continue to put our town closer and closer to chaos. That is counterintuitive to my purpose here. That's the best I have for you. Can't hear you, Adam.
We can hear this, right?
Yeah, they're having the conversation out loud. In the
Making
room.
sure that it was out loud. I didn't know how far away the daughter had been taken. Ophelia had been taken away, so I didn't know if this was like a hushed conversation. But
She's been kind of taken down the hallway, and you kind of see her cutting down the stairs now.
gotcha.
Mortin, this cat,
Yes.
well-groomed, rather regal-looking figure, has just kind of like come to a stop almost directly in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Glances at Odophilia walking past.
I cast Speak with Animals, of course. I say, hello, my friend. Mind if I speak to you for a second?
Oh, my old bean.
Josh, I love you.
I say, you could speak to me.
Well, yes, and you can speak to me.
Capital! Well, that's just wonderful, isn't it? What can I do for you?
Delightful. A bit of a situation went down here last night. I was wondering if you heard or saw anything that you don't usually hear in your domain.
Well, yes, well, I did. I don't, well, you know, I'm not a busybody. No, not old Gerard, but, you see, well, and he's like very conspiratorial. Says, so.
Am I getting real close?
This is strictly between you and I.
I won't tell a soul.
Well, you see, there's this stray who I sometimes dabble with outside of the confines of the... Yes, I know, it's...
Say no more?
Very hush. Please do not tell Mistress Odophilia. It would devastate her. But sometimes I slip out for a little dally, you know.
Did you hear me and him, the cat both like... meow, 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 meow.
Well,
I want that to be how this happens.
it's absolutely happening this way. Well,
Okay.
you see, we tend to, well, you know, there's very few better places to do it than in the moonlight. So we were up on the roof of the building thing that you people put this fish in, just to one side. We were on the eave, and well, I tell you, I was just doing my business, and I look over, and there was a man coming out of that window right behind you.
In this room where Peach and...
Yes, that one over there.
I'm talking to you, Josh. Hey, break up.
Yes,
Josh.
sorry. I'm in character. Yeah, the window that Peach and Zahl are standing next to.
Oh, okay. So he's pointing into that room.
Yeah, he's pointing into the room past you. He said,
Gotcha, okay.
But here's the real thing. I, of course, stopped it. I hope that the stray won't mind, but I immediately had to investigate. So he was coming down, and I hopped down, went down on the deck. And I got a glance of who it was. I don't know what he was doing in there. Why? The mistress has been locked up crying, but I don't know. But do you know who it was?
I would love to know.
Do you know? Do you know that he was here earlier? The tall, stoic, gaunt man, very serious all the time, very quiet.
Do I know who he's describing?
Travels around with that one, and he points at Solomor. Or gestures his paw at Solomor.
Just so I'm clear, do I know who he's describing?
He is describing Scarin.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. You see.
And with that, we're gonna go to break.
Oh my god, he just left with her.
It is break time, everybody. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Love y'all.
So no quartermaster.
Live.
Count Chocula only comes out at night for that reason.
The diabetes.
Yep.
And we have Soundtail. And
Yeah.
it's a new version,
Yeah.
and I am already having my mind blown by the new functions that have been added, which I won't get into extensive depth into despite wanting to, because holy hell am I excited for some of these. Hot diggity damn. They literally heard me
Yeah.
squeeing about it as I got it up and running here. So everybody
like-
in Twitch, everybody
Wow.
in Twitch should be able to.
Out of no.
What? What is that? What is that? That's just two words.
Just a big bucket of nope.
Yeah, okay. Well.
It's a big old bucket of no.
You're fine, Josh.
All right.
Thanks,
Oh,
Soundtail.
baby.
Thanks,
All right.
Soundtail.
Where
Thank
were
you,
we?
Soundtail.
Where were we?
You make tails out of sounds, and I love you.
Oh my lord.
You
So,
make our words into a story.
yes, thank you, Soundtail.
It's true, though.
We've got sufficiently dramatic music as you discover who apparently was the assassin.
Meow, meow,
Did not
only
see
he,
meow,
only he
One
did.
person knows.
And
meow.
with
The
that,
rest of us are in the room angry.
so, Morton, you've just had that information shared with you in chat.
In cat.
Gerard
I
has
think I
shared
doubt-
with you.
Me?
I doubted for a second. I was like, no. I look around and he's not there. The guy who carries the plates around?
I know. I don't know what he was doing in there, but he came right out of that window. Strange. Strange things.
How'd he do it? Later. I'll be back. I turn around. Meow, 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 meow.
Pleasure talking to you.
And
Morton, there's no way we understood that.
Wave chaser.
What? Wait, what?
I look towards Solomore.
What?
Say what?
Wave chaser did it.
I'm sorry.
What?
The butler
Wait.
did it.
Where is he?
He just went
With
out the.
her?
Oh God.
So then
I
what the
take
fuck
off.
did you hire?
we dig up that way.
Scooby Gang, run!
Okay. You easily begin pounding it down the hallway. Morton, I had mentioned to you, you did notice with your passive perception, Scarin and Odophilia had kind of headed down the grand staircase into the
Yes.
main foyer.
Yes. That's
As
the way I
you reach the top of the stairs and look down, you see Odophilia on the floor.
Damn it.
Dead?
You don't know.
I don't even care if she looks like she's bleeding out. I'm gonna throw a heal to her.
Okay. Go ahead and
Could
roll
just
it.
be unconscious. Don't really care.
Save her.
That's what I do. Bomb of the summer court.
Bombs.
120 feet.
Where's Solomore?
I'm just gonna throw her a D6
Solomore is directly behind you right now.
to make sure
Good.
she's at least alive.
You see as they were limp on the floor,
Mhm.
and as she goes and pushes herself up, there is a burgeoning pool of blood on that marble floor as well.
Ooh, shit! Ah,
Am I within
Do we
6
see
feet?
the butler?
You see the butler nowhere. Go ahead and roll perception or investigation if you'd like to see if he's in the
not
vicinity.
even with the 22.
Not even with a 22.
God, natural 20 though. How about that shit?
He's not there. You know that for certain.
Ah!
Slutty 20, still not there.
I run to the door.
What about 9? Is he there yet?
So, oh yeah, now he's there. No, still not
found
there.
him.
Go. So as Morton, you begin to kind of take off down the stairs. You pass Odophilia, who is holding her throat, looking again confused and not sure what has just happened. As you reach the door.
I'm gonna swing it open if I can.
Okay. The door
That's the
swings
door
open.
to outside.
Do I see him? Do I see anything?
Roll perception. Taking into account your passive perception, 21.
Shit. 15.
15. As you look around, even with the passive perception as well, the guards are there. The gate is open. You're not seeing anybody visible to you immediately. What's the rest of the
okay.
party doing as this is happening? And I'm not
Uh,
penalizing you here. Like, you'll absolutely get
No,
chase
I
time.
did too much. I'm good.
No, you don't.
Debbie-
You didn't. Just,
I have an action ready though when
perfect. Beautiful.
Demi, for one, is Solomore wearing like a jacket of any kind?
Yeah, Solomor is wearing like it's essentially like a nice frocked coat, with like a kind of frilled button shirt.
Great. Cool.
Sorry, don't describe it too
She's
much. Go ahead.
grabbing
Yep.
the corner of the jacket and dragging him with her.
Oh,
No. I've seen how he looks when we make fun of you. You're staying right next to me.
Gotcha.
Carl, get inside.
Yes,
Get some
ma'am.
gods, get inside.
I like
Get
how he
inside.
doesn't question. He just goes, "Yes, ma'am. What's going on?"
Problems, and I don't have time. You're going to stand in a circle around this girl.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you, John?
He kind of looks at Solomor. Solomor's just like, whatever she says.
By the way, she's at 3 hit points with 1 temporary hit point.
Okay,
Okay.
In case it matters.
good to know.
I hate
Thank you.
you.
Jesus Christ.
Carl,
Do we have a healing potion?
did you see? Carl, did you see the butler come by a minute ago?
See anyone leave?
Yeah, the butler came through. He went that way, and he kind of points back towards the bridge along the dock, so past the snapping line. And back
Outside.
Running. I'm running.
Okay.
Peach,
How do you run?
Are you saying where you're going at all?
No, hold on. I'm just listening. I'm not doing anything. I did my thing.
Peach is gonna chase after Demi, but first they're gonna really quick use a rally, put their hand on Ophelia's shoulder, and tell her, "Stay alive, stay safe." And they're going to use rally, which is
What is going on?
temporary HP.
Okay. Again, you see her bolster a little further after receiving the bomb of Summer Court. The wound, there is a ragged line that's seemingly still starting to knit together here now. And then the rally, she feels she's starting to catch her breath, where she was just literally like panting against the floor, holding her throat at this point.
7 temporary HP.
Okay, good. As you're doing that, the guards are coming into the main hallway and ringing around her.
Thank you.
Can I throw her a heal also? I'm sorry. I don't
Absolutely. Roll that heals.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her. You know what? We leveled up. I think I have enough to give 2, right?
Yeah. And I'm letting. This is essentially as Mortin threw open the doors and is gaining his bearings. You're all going boom, 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 like with this.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Out the door?
holding you back too much. You're just outside the door, Mortin, as you're looking ahead of everybody.
Or are they all behind me? Okay.
They're behind you. Yeah, you got the
That's
lead on
pretty
this one. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Hit points, and you guys see it like the radiant light just leaves from Zahl and hits her.
You see it
And
kind
you
of sink in.
Yeah.
Again, her breathing becomes a little less ragged. The wound seems to knit a little better.
But Carl said that he was going towards the docks.
Past the docks towards the bridge.
So,
Oh, fuck him.
past our boat or no?
It would be past your boat, yes.
So he went past our boat or he went towards our boat?
You don't know.
Which direction are they posted?
You
There?
don't know.
He went
They're
south
directing us.
based on the map. Or,
Okay.
sorry, west, because this one's weird. Down. He went down on the map.
Time is moving now, though, as you deliberate.
If he hurts anyone, I'll kill you myself.
We should have the guards also watch Solomon.
Oh no, he's coming with us.
Okay.
I send Ashi.
I'll use him as a fucking shield.
He won't. Okay.
Ashi is up in the sky, and I'm looking through his eyes right away to see if I
So
can see
Ashi
anything.
wings up past your shoulder, Mortin, and Zahl goes blind and deaf as he
Shit!
projects.
Somebody grab me! Somebody grab me!
I'm Solomon.
Grabs him.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say we will absolutely resolve that. Mortin, what are you doing?
From the staff, I pull like a scattering of seeds.
Mhm.
I throw them into the front yard, the small yard there is. Immediately, 8 blooms begin to like explode and like vine up into the form of 8 large owls.
Okay.
Everybody on.
So
Can I take him or do I need to drop
as
him?
Ashi wings up out the door into the air,
and I just jump on one.
these owls manifest and you all jump into them. Ashi's kind of winging upwards. Zahl is still unconscious at this
He's
moment.
blind and deaf.
Oh, Peach is gonna lift him onto one and like wrap his arms around it.
Right before you take off, because we'll see how you roleplay this, Zahl, make your perception checks for Ashi. Ashi's about, I would say, probably about 60 feet in the air right now. So
Okay, I
they're
just
not
love
at the
the
highest vantage point because time is of the essence here.
I love the idea that Peach is basically buckling Zahl in. That's adorable. And you said perception, it's for Ashi, right?
Yeah, so advantage.
Okay, yeah. I needed that right this second. Ashi, what's your perception?
How many owls?
3. 21.
21.
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 owls.
As Ashi wings up into the air, you're looking around. Did you send him in a specific direction when you did that?
I sent him towards the direction
That Scarin was going.
that Scarin had gone, and he's just looking because Zahl knows what he looks like. So Zahl's looking through the eyes to see if he can see anybody that looks like him.
At
Or
this specific moment, nothing.
Okay. I pull my consciousness back now that I'm on something. I don't know what
Getting
I'm
on an owl.
I've been buckled into an owl apparently, and
Yeah, you wake to an owl beneath you.
oh, okay.
Getting
And
on an owl, and I'm getting Solomore on the other one.
Okay.
It's a combination of thick roots and leaves that looks like an owl. It's not an actual owl.
That's dope.
Great, as long as
That's
it's flies.
cool.
This is
Ashi
dope. Send in the owls.
So Ashi's kind of ahead.
Hell, if he sees it, just ping me and I'll tell them.
Okay. So-
Anyone with an owl on their back, I'm giving control of that owl to do what they, sort of lean in that direction wherever they want to go. But
So-
the other 4, because I get 8 of them technically, they're going to go in the cardinal directions and search
Okay.
in case he
Okay.
just split somewhere else.
Okay. How do they report back to you? Is there a specific way, or is
Scream.
it they're
There's
gonna
no mental communication. I don't think.
So you're going to be
just
listening
gonna be
for an
screaming
owl.
owl.
It's just gonna be a owl screech.
Okay.
Let's
I love
see.
that.
You're just
They obey any verbal command issued to them.
Okay.
So they have to be told. They can't be psychically told.
Gotcha. So they've been told all of these things, and they lift into the air. What's their movement speed?
Oh, giant owls, pretty good.
Since
They
he
have a
gives
flight
us
speed of 60.
control,
Chat
gives us
just
control of the owl, I'm gonna have Solomore on
is
mine.
Solomore's on your owl?
Yeah,
are
'cause I don't
giant
want him
owls able to
flying.
carry 2 people, or is it a single person?
Giant owls, their strength is 13, so I feel like it'd be a single person, but that's up to you.
Oh,
Yeah, I would.
Mm.
I would.
I mean,
rule-
I can have, 5 carry us, and I can just tell his owl not to do anything if he tells him to.
great, do that, I guess.
And then the 3 cardinal directions would be anything away from water.
Okay, perfect. Good. North, south.
Mhm.
No, northeast
So
and west.
inland, up, and down
Yep,
on the map, basically.
along the coast and out. Cool.
Mhm.
Okay. And you take off the owls that you've kind of given directions. One of them heading essentially in the direction you're going, which is to the west.
Yeah,
Kind of
but he's
towards
gonna go
the
further
bridge.
than we go.
Yeah, he just
if we stop.
takes off. The other's going in different directions as you wing into the air. Okay. And you are just heading in the direction that Carl indicated?
Yes.
Okay. As you kind of swoop upwards into the air, what height are you going for?
Height?
Mhm.
How tall are the buildings here? Not that tall?
They're not that tall. Nothing above
Um,
really like 20, 30 feet. 30 feet
I
probably
would,
max.
I would say 20 feet above any rooftop, so not too high off the buildings.
Okay, so fairly low.
Yeah.
let
The other
me-
ones are higher, I would say. The ones that are sort of just going in directions, those ones would probably be about 50 feet off the ground.
Okay. As you loop upwards, I need everyone to roll perception checks for me because I assume everybody is perceiving.
Yeah. Nat 20.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Finally.
22.
18, so 17.
Okay.
Picture this beautiful baby.
And Zahl, you may roll for Ashi again as well.
Do you want me to make them for the birds?
Yes, absolutely.
Or make one for the birds, I
Make
guess?
make one group one for the birds. Peach, to answer your question in chat, it's if you look for the Helm of Underwater Action.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
22 for Ashi.
22 for Ashi. Okay.
Roll a 19.
So I also got a 22, and the birds also got a 22.
Okay. Very perceptive party
We
here.
know everything in this town.
It's like we have a blimp with spotlights on it.
As
Oh yeah, I didn't add mine. It's 24. It's a natural 20 plus.
Ooh.
as you are kind of winging upwards, you see below in the street, a bunch of people are turning to look up at you. You see as somebody's moving with a cart of fish along the main way. It's been knocked over, and somebody's like picking things up, and kind of like gesturing down an alleyway at somebody, kind of like throwing his hands up in the air. Other than that, you don't see your specific target.
Would the birds fit in the alleyway?
They could fly above it, but it's a pretty narrow alleyway. It's probably like 6 or 7 feet across.
I'm just gonna scream fish cart and dive.
Okay, Mortin does.
So what I want to do is similar, but I want to position my bird and then literally dive off of the bird and cast fly on myself and just shoot back down towards the alleyway so I can land in it.
Oh, okay.
And so Zahl, you like when he casts fly, you see him as he like jumps off and his arms go wide, and there's just a moment where it like looks like these golden wings, these golden like dragon wings like spawn from his back and like swoop, and they kind of disappear, but he just goes like a bullet out of hell, just going straight towards the alleyway.
And what's your fly speed with fly?
60.
60, okay. Fly speed on the owls was, remind me again, I apologize. 60. 60, perfect, okay. So you kind of, Mortin, you take for a dive immediately as the first. Zahl, as you jump off your owl, kind of freeing the owl, it kind of is like not sure what to do because its order has been to listen to this person who's riding it. Yeah. Jumped off and took off. So it's kind of doing its thing now. Zahl, you're now dipping down towards. Mortin's just ahead of you. Demi, Peach on your owls. Solomor just kind of like behind you.
He doesn't get the command.
Yeah, he has no control. It's just
He's
following.
His owl's commanded to follow Demi.
And as you guys fall into a dive, his yelling gets louder from behind you all, as you begin to dive bomb with Mortin in the lead, followed by a flying Zahl towards this alleyway, swinging in. Now, this is essentially a cut in the side of a building. It's 2-story buildings next to each other with overhangs that make it even narrower at the top. The extent, probably at least here, the widest part of the alleyway, about 8 feet. It's going to be a tight fit for those owls.
They're not going in. They're staying above.
They're not going in. So you swoop in above.
Yeah.
Got it. So you come in over the top. Zahl, are you going into the alleyway?
I'm going into the alleyway.
Okay. As you cut into the alleyway, it is a trench. Nice. Zahl, you duck in, flying down the alleyway. You see a figure nearing the end of the alleyway, just lit by, it's quite dark in here, dim light. You see him lit by the light coming through the other end of the alleyway. I need you to make acrobatics checks. There are ladders, gangways, and stacks of crates all the way along this alleyway, and you've just come hurtling into it.
I'm about to pull a straight up Spider-Man 3.
Is this going towards the end of an alleyway,
It is
like, or does
the
it
end
come
of the
into
alleyway.
a different thing?
As you
So
guys
it's
are,
like a dead end.
yeah. Well, so it actually opens up into, like another street, which you guys are heading towards along the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Peach is going to patrol around that opening on the other side.
Okay. That's perfect. As you guys are still, you're kind of cutting, you're making about the same speed as Zahl. Mortin's a little bit ahead as you come along, so you're still moving along. Zahl, acrobatics.
Nat 1.
No.
You are kidding me.
You got right into something.
Oh, okay.
Zahl, you've turned off your targeting computer. Is there something wrong?
So, Zahl, Adam,
We lost communication.
I adore you.
You and ladders don't get along.
Can you be honest with me, buddy? How fast were you going your full 60
I was
feet?
going full 60 feet. I'll take whatever I get at this point. I'm not gonna lie.
You come in low. You catch this stack of crates with your shoulder, and it is just this tight fit. You're initially like boom, boom, like dodging and weaving. You don't see this particular cat or cat. There's a cat on the top of it. Stack of crates until it's too late. You hit the crates and start to spiral downwards and out. And you hear as this cat jumps off of the stack of
It was
crates.
the damn alley cat.
I need you to make one more I'm gonna give you some damage just for the speed you're moving. 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Oh,
You just
okay.
make a concentration check.
You do need to make a concentration check. It has to be a 10, DC 10. Thank you, Sean.
I'm sorry.
Piece of shit.
Because of the damage. It's true, though. Oh my god.
Please don't stop flying.
This is the con check. We're good. I got a 19.
19.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
you are solid. You're still holding onto the. You're like, but you're holding onto the spell. I need you to make another acrobatics check to right yourself. DC
Cool,
10.
cool.
Okay, so it's not like crazy. You're kind of spinning now through this to see if you get the rest of the way through.
You said acrobatics?
Yes, sir.
I got a 7, so I'm fucked.
You unfortunately aren't able to right yourself and come crashing onto the ground, skidding and bouncing along the kind of rough surface. You're going to take another d6 of damage, bludgeoning, which means another concentration check on that.
Correct.
That's 5 bludgeoning. DC 10 on that con check.
And that's just straight
It's a Constitution saving throw, I believe.
Oh, it's a saving throw.
Right?
Fuck. Constitution? Because if it was something else, it'd be great. I got and you're gonna laugh, 9.
You're out of fly.
I'm out of flight.
I mean, if it's a check or a save, it doesn't matter because it would be higher on a check.
Yeah. That's why. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Do you have advantage on save? Oh no. Saves
Speak
with
now.
magic? Is that?
Against magic and other magical effects. It's not
Oh,
magic.
against magic.
Again.
Yeah.
Shit.
I have advantage against magical effects.
Do I notice him, like, sort of tumble out of the alleyway?
Yes, as you literally
Getting up behind
as
this guy
you
who's
break
gonna
it, you see Zahl kind of like out of the end of the alleyway into the street. Also, as you break over, I need you all to make a perception check again.
Oh shit.
You want me to make one too?
As we get out, I'll throw him a heal, and
Okay.
I'm gonna call his owl down to him just in case he wants it.
Okay. This owl like swoops down.
18.
18?
13.
13?
7.
7. As you're looking around, you're not seeing him.
So you heal 6,
Oh hell yeah, dude!
and
That's-
the 1 hit point shield.
Zahl, you get your healing as you kind of swoop low, and then as you're kind of coming back up a little bit on the owls, and the owl comes to settle down next to Zahl. All of this happening in matters of seconds.
Yeah, I literally did that and then kept going wherever I could.
Do you want me to roll for Ashi? Because I didn't roll for Ashi.
Go ahead and roll for Ashi, yeah.
Sorry. 17.
17? Okay. So as you look around, you're not seeing anything immediately. How do you proceed?
Any of us?
None
I-
of you.
I got
Okay,
a,
I know-
17.
I know I
got a
was like
17.
topsy-turvy.
Oh no, sorry, 18.
18.
Am I still in the alleyway or am I on the street at this point? That's what I
You're
was-
on the street. You bounced out of the alleyway and kind of like came to a halt, like in the street, and now this owl that you recall is landing next to you again. That was a cool as hell maneuver.
Another weird question, real quick.
Yeah.
Did I like ricochet around this guy in my pinball?
Do you want to look
list?
back over your shoulder to see?
Well, I would. Yeah, I just didn't know if I had passed him as I had like shot out.
You're
That's
not
why I-
certain, but go ahead
Okay,
and roll
yeah,
perception.
I'd like to look back to see if I see him. Oh shit, that's cocked. Wow. Yeah, I don't see shit. I'm still dizzy. I
Okay.
got a 6.
You're like, "Ooh."
Good.
Are we proceeding?
Good.
Peach is gonna fly low, over the buildings around this alleyway on either side, like steering their owl in a circle, looking for him.
So you're making a ring around the block, essentially? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll perception again.
Don't look. Okay. It's still -1. 17 again.
17 again. As you loop around, you're still not seeing anything. The last sighting was Zahl at the end of the alleyway.
Zahl saw him at the end of the alleyway?
Zahl, when he first dropped down, he saw what he believed was the silhouette of Scarron lit at the end of the alleyway. The end that you are currently at.
Go back into the alleyway to see if there's something there. like I don't want to be on the street looking. I actually want to like leave the owl, like tell it to stay there, and like walk into the alleyway.
So you're investigating the alleyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Josh, where would we be on the map?
So on the map, and this is a little blown out here, so it's not exact.
Mm-hmm.
You would be back over here. So the
Over
second
there.
street
And
coming through
where
this
is
alleyway.
where on the map is our boat?
Your boat is down over here.
So it's really close.
Hate it.
Yeah.
How close would you say it is?
That's probably about 400 feet.
If you're
Roll
worried, you
investigation,
can
Zahl.
go to that boat. You have full
Yeah.
control of that bird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue looking
Splitting
in
the
this
party
area.
sounds like a
Okay.
horrible idea.
We're totally good.
We have enough ways.
If someone flies off, Peach is going to follow them. So if Demi splits, Peach will follow.
So as you guys are
Uh,
having this conversation or decision making, Peach is looping. Zahl, go ahead and investigate the alleyway.
I'm not looking for him. I'm looking for disturbances in the crowd.
Disturbances
Another
in the
guy
crowd.
with a knocked over cart or
16.
some sort of
Yeah.
something.
16.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking around here. You see laying against a like kind of caught on a little bar. As you look back into the alleyway, there's a small side belt pouch that is torn, as if it was caught against something that is hanging from there.
Oh,
Mortin, perception. Demi, what's your decision?
Yeah, she's flying towards the boat to get within 120 feet to cast a message. She's gonna be probably above the boat.
Demi
but
kind
she's
of-
at least going. And guess what? Solomon has to follow because that was the instruction the owl got.
Ah!
23.
23.
So yeah,
I'm
she's
good.
flying towards
Okay.
the ship.
I'm going through that belt as fast as snakenly possible.
So as you open up the belt, Peach, what's your decision with Peach? Where are you going from there? You're
Peach
just
follows
leveling back out? Okay, and now you're following Demi. Okay. Mortin
And Solomon.
and Solomon. You were looking at the crowd for disturbances, correct?
Yeah, for more fish cart.
Okay,
sort
go
of-
ahead. One final perception here. Zahl,
I got 23. Did that do anything?
23. You are looking in the direction over... It's actually not that crazy crowded. There's a few people kind of walking up and down the street. It's not like back at the docks where there's a lot more going on. You're street
Right.
in here. As you look, there's a few people very confused. They're confused because Zahl just came rolling out of an alleyway, then dipped back in. You guys are flying around on giant faux wooden forest owls.
It's because of us.
Yeah, you're not seeing a specific instance of interruption like the cart.
Shit.
Sorry.
No, not your fault. We're creating a spectacle.
Zahl, as you open up the pouch, you look in there. There's a few coins. There's a lock-picking kit. There is a single fabric red triangle.
Like the Sitco logo?
Sure, if you want it to be like that.
Ditko was behind it the
It
whole
is
time.
just a red triangle, a simple patch, interwoven fabric in the shape of a triangle. It is
He's at Fed
red.
Okay, and that's
sorry, that's
that's
awesome.
it that's in there.
That is it.
I
As you're doing that, Demi, message to Oceanus.
Yeah, as soon as she gets in within 120 feet.
120
Stop
feet.
it! John! I hate you!
Rude.
Poor Demi. It's like her only remaining thing from the Lila.
her only thing that she has.
all she hears is just
The whole party's like, is he dead? Is he dead?
Oh my god. I don't think message has a word limit. No, it doesn't.
It's just as brief. That's
Yeah,
only
it's
Yeah,
description.
it's just
short.
Are you okay? Are you on the ship? Very rushed.
Yes, are you okay? You don't sound, and then it cuts off.
Didn't catch that last part. She's just gonna keep casting it. It's just
Okay,
she's
so-
gonna land on the dock
Are you
once she gets.
Are you on a giant owl? What is happening?
So yes, okay, great. She's landing. And I guess she'll keep messaging him until she's close enough to talk to him. Bad. She's just, her ability to talk just goes right out.
I like how you're babble messaging at him, and he's just like, you can see him standing at the like gangplank on the ship looking at you as you walk towards him, and just like not really responding because he doesn't know what to say, so he's just like, are you alright?
Hi, no, she's gonna have the owl that she's on land on the on the deck of the ship.
Oh, on the deck of the ship.
And then I guess also Solomon's owl will do that.
Yeah. He kind of tumbles off and is like, oh my god.
Great. She's walking back over to him and pulling him by the jacket again.
Will you stop?
No, I will not. You knew
fighting.
nothing about this? Nothing about this. Where'd you get your assassin, Butler?
Skaren
where'd
has
you get
been
that
working
one?
for me for years.
Yes, and apparently killing for you. Very exciting. Oceanus, don't... do you have your trident? You should hold that. She's not explaining.
He like, he's like 1 second, and he goes to his cabin and like comes back out with the trident.
Perfect. You're fine. Don't... It's confusing. Now I feel bad that we left them. There's a person that works for this guy that's killing people. And I may have made a mistake by messaging him. So, I'm paranoid.
Yeah, I
So-
appreciate it.
You want to explain something to me, Solomon? Where'd you get him? When'd you
He-
start teaching him to kill people?
I didn't. What? Teaching him to what? No, he's worked for my family for years. I hired him in Seaton.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling the
And
truth.
he would kill smugglers because...
I don't know. He joined on when I was heading
He
towards
tried
Saltmarsh.
to kill a 21-year-old girl.
I didn't ask him to do that.
Defenseless. Defenseless. 21-year-old girl who just lost her father.
Roll insight.
Josh.
Yes, sir.
Peach lands.
I've got the timer paused for the folks at the
Okay.
alleyway as
Thank
well.
you. I
Just to be safe for you guys. This is its own timeline now. We're
No, you're fine.
parsing.
18 plus 5. My
18
brain
plus 5. Okay.
doesn't want to work.
That is very high. He is genuinely dumbfounded by what is going on and can't make heads or tails of it.
You legitimately have no idea how you managed to hire a butler that got into a jail with no detection and killed someone and then killed one of your friends and then also tried to kill his daughter.
People only just started dying. Skaren's been working for me for years.
Maybe they only started dying that you knew.
Oh god.
She's gonna like let go of his jacket and just like let him drop if he does. You're going to sit here
Just kind of sits down.
until we figure it out.
Would you
God.
like me to guard him?
Sure. Honestly though, if something comes to kill him, get out of the way.
That was... Oh, alright. Great. Back to... Peach, you came with and landed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back to Mortin and Zahl. Zahl, you've just seen these things in the pouch. I'm going to give Mortin a chance here.
Seeing that basically everyone's reacting to us and I don't see him anywhere in the area, or no signs of him anywhere in the area,
Yeah.
I'm just going to yell down to Zahl. I'm going to circle back to the house.
The Prime Water House.
Yeah, the one with the injured woman in it.
Easy enough
I
for
know.
Zahl to hear that.
Yeah, I come running out of the alley and I yell back, I've got a belt!
Beautiful.
No, it's
Just fine.
Your owl is still there waiting for you, Adam, by the way.
Yeah.
Good. I jump on the owl and so Fuck, you guys put me in the middle. This is, I hate it. What do I do?
You don't have to come with me if you don't want to.
You also, Zahl, you wouldn't know where Peach and Demi actually went, because
That's a very good point.
Feel free to go wherever.
Can I ask a question just for clarity's sake?
Yeah.
Because I would go up in the air on the bird.
Mhm.
Would I see them over at the dock? Because they have two giant owls.
You roll a perception to see if you catch them before
Okay.
they land.
I was just wondering. Ironically, in the time that I don't really need it, I just rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
Perfect.
So as you're
I'm not
looking,
messing
you're
with you.
just seeing Peach's owl swoop into the dock or the deck of the Sea Ghost, kind of over the buildings, like two streets over, past the market, down on the.
Gotcha. And I follow Mortin.
Okay.
Because, well, actually, no, I follow Peach because I think they found something.
Okay.
Thinking about it. I
Okay.
was like,
So
yeah.
you are headed towards the Sea Ghost. Morton, you're
Yeah.
heading towards the Prime Water Mansion.
Yep.
Morton had a bit of a head start on
Sorry.
Zahl, and it's about equidistant. So Morton, you touch down at the Prime Water Mansion first. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna roll off the bird and go back into the house.
Okay. You roll off, walk in. The guards are kind of all like standing there, like, what? Like, not sure.
I was gonna, Can anyone else come in here?
No.
All right. And does she look okay?
They kind of part for you, and you step in, and she's kind of stood now, and is wide-eyed, completely shocked, very pale. There's still a little bit of the puffiness there, but she just looks completely confounded. It has been a hell of a day, but you're feeling like most of this is emotional trauma. She appears to be breathing.
She's still wounded, though.
There is a marking here that hasn't quite healed up. There's a pretty deep cut, and she didn't get... Well, actually, no, you know what? There wouldn't be a marking. You guys, with all of the healing you did, would have gotten her... It's fine. She's
Okay.
She keeps touching her throat, but it is, as she pulls her hands away, it's not slit.
like a phantom.
There's no scarring. Yeah, like a... She keeps going like this, and
All right.
oh, sassy. Yes, we're talking about terrible things.
Love her.
Sassy's the perfect cat.
Your boyfriend joined us. Gerard.
Rogue.
Sassy's the stray.
I just
How
realized
dare
the
you.
implication of
Oh,
saying that.
rude.
Yeah, now I regret it immediately.
How dare you?
That's fine.
And
Sassy's
now
great.
It's
All
been
right.
great, but I gotta leave now.
Yeah, I'm just killing it today. I've just said 800 billion dumb things. Second
have
week
it.
in a row.
You're perfect.
I'm gonna mention that this place is no longer safe for her to be. We have a ship. We can offer some sort of protection, but you are not safe here.
All right, are you... So I suppose... And she kind of takes a step towards you, and the guard... What? Should we come with you? Where's Mr. Solomore? I mean,
Mr.
Master
Solomon on our boat.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't know that. I
Yeah.
wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that.
See-
Mr. Solomon's with us. That's
There
true.
you go. Roll a quick persuasion for the guards. Not a super high DC, but
Shit.
just
Got this.
Natural 19.
okay.
So that is a natural 19.
They have witnessed you taking charge several times here in the last few minutes, with magical owls appearing, and you're just like a very different Morton, and they're like, okay, and they just like begin to trail along behind you,
Okay.
kind of boxing Odophilia in.
Yes, the corners of me and her.
And there are about
I also-
6 or 7 of them, like it's quite a few.
I walk to the boat. I tell the bird to like sort of keep the eyes out above us and make noise if it senses anything weird.
So
but-
yeah, the owl's kind of swooping around.
Yeah, literally just walking at her pace to the ship.
Okay. All right. you are able to kind of begin making your way towards the ship on foot, owls circling you. As your conversation is finishing, Demi and Peach, you're kind of approaching them. Zahl, you're coming into land.
I land on the ship with the, like, next to them. Did you guys find something? Why did we come back here? Is there something going on?
Because he ran in the direction of our ship, and I messaged Oceanus earlier, and I got paranoid.
So I found this, and I hold up the belt with, like, the little, I assume it's like a little satchel, right?
It's basically like, you know, the little hip belts? They're like really small and narrow, like an expanded coin purse that just kind of fits snug. It's that, but then some of the stitching that was holding it on kind of over a belt has been torn off, and it's kind of frayed on one end.
And I pull out all the contents and, like, pour them out in front of us. Does this look familiar at all? This fabric?
When it's like a kind of suede-ish leather, like it's like
suede leather.
Yeah.
Doesn't look right.
And
Does this look...
Solomor, what? He kind of looks up.
Be useful.
That's Scarin's. Where did you get that? Did you capture him?
No, this was on the belt. It was.
Yes.
It was...
That's it. That was his belt pouch. He'd just, like, if I needed money, I'd say, Scarin, and he'd take money out.
Why does he like you?
I don't like you.
Wait a minute.
Why does he like you?
Demi.
Yes.
Which I can't remember that well. I'm not good at that. Anyway.
Okay.
The prison.
Yep.
We determined that the person snuck in. Correct.
Yes. Yes.
How did they sneak in? What was the idea behind that? Because there was 2 guards.
We thought that they convinced someone to let them in, possibly, or there was also a window.
Small retcon, Josh. Sorry, I also grabbed the cat.
Oh, you grabbed Gerard? Okay.
Of
Yes.
course you did.
It'll put you back a little bit, just finding him and convincing him.
That's
But
totally fine.
he likes you. He
I
knows
wouldn't leave
you.
without the cat.
Roll a quick animal handling for me, just to make sure.
Oh,
No,
cool.
you know what? Odophilia's with you, and with her help, no check.
Okay, perfect.
Gerard is just like
What
Gerard
if
is
they
just
were gifted and were able to change their face? There's no convincing there. What if your butler did something like that?
Or if it's something like that, maybe it's not even your butler.
Well, if he's aware that this pouch is his, then it would have
That's
to
true.
either be that his butler got replaced a long time ago,
Question
or
for you, Solomon. How long has this butler been in your service?
I don't. Just before I came to Saltmarsh, so maybe 3-4 years.
and why this butler?
I mean, he was a fantastic butler. He was protective of me. He was dutiful. He's quiet.
Has he ever been sick, or has he ever had to take time off? Anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not. Like, I would give him time off, and he would go and do things.
When was the most recent time?
I remember it quite well because I had to make my own dinner, which was terrible.
Just get to the point.
Sorry. He's the worst. He's the worst. I think 3 months ago he said he needed to visit his family.
He acted different when he came back at all.
No, same old Scarin. And he'd
Sure.
visited his family before. I don't know where, I didn't ask.
Are you sure he acted exactly the same?
Yes? Can I stand? I genuinely did not know
He doesn't have any idea.
So,
Oceanus is still holding the trident at him and is like looking at Demi.
No, you don't. It's fine. He's not dangerous. He's just an idiot.
so
She mumbles that part under her breath.
Valid.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Shit. what is past the ship?
What's past the ship?
Who lives past the ship? Who's the next council member past the ship?
I'm confused. What's the question?
Like where a ship is, who would be the next? Because we know where the mines are. Is that past where our ship is?
It's across the bridge and up the hill. Monastrad Koppeluk's mine is. Ada Olin's house is the opposite direction.
So Monastrad.
I'm gonna go check on Monastrad. Make sure she's all right.
Might not be a terrible idea. Might not be a might not be a terrible idea.
Don't feel comfortable, of course.
No, it's fine. Someone should. We should probably just let the council hall know too, and they can send out their runners. I really wish that I had another spell slot.
I could go that way. I have, my spells. I'll fire one up in the air. If you see a spell go up in the air, nobody's.
Yeah, you could probably also, if you wanted to, send Oshi, couldn't you?
True.
With like a note.
Yeah, true.
But I don't know. Depends on how worried we are. Maybe just go.
Where did you last see him? This is Solomon.
In
the alleyway.
Which
that alleyway that I dove into.
Oh,
which
you saw him.
The one that I fell out of about 10 minutes ago.
So he's heading east now.
Which would mean what? That would be
my house.
Do you think he'd go to your house?
I don't know.
Does he have stuff there?
He has a room with belongings.
Lives past your house. Any other council members?
If you went back towards the coast, kind of in that direction, Ada's home. That's really about it.
We have no idea what this person's motivations are. I'm having the worst time figuring out where he might be going.
Well, so let's.
We should find. Where's Mortin?
Mortin arrives right as you say
Mortin?
that.
He flew back towards
Mortin proceeds up the gangplank with a retinue of guards, Odophilia, a cat, and several owls.
The cat's on a pillow.
Yeah.
I don't think I.
They
you
weren't
know what?
safe.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't surprise me. It's our boat now. Just like it's fine. It's like halfway home.
There are guards.
Right now.
There's Oceanus. There's Ophelia. We can leave them all here, and there are guards, which is safer than not. And
That's
we
true.
can go look for this butler.
Mortin, did you find anything, or just collect people?
I just wanted to make sure they were safe.
That's good.
Oh, and before I forget, I want to talk to the cat again real quick. Just a quick conversation. It's not concentration, so I won't lose the owls.
Cool.
But I want to talk to animals.
Hello, old bean. It's good to see you again.
Hello, old friend. Right before all this craziness broke out, I was going to ask you a question.
Certainly.
How did he get out of the window?
Well, I didn't see him come out. I saw him going down. I saw him going up. He kind of just. Do you know how you all kind of? Well, you don't. But do you know how you all kind of walk around on the ground, humans?
Yes.
He kind of just. He
The
kind
wall.
of climbed out and then. Well, no. He went whoop onto the roof.
He flew.
Sort of. Floated. He wasn't like a bird. He didn't have wings. Tasty bird.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Oh, anything for you. What's your name, old bean?
Name's Mortin.
All right. Wonderful.
I shake his paw.
Ah,
Pleasure to meet you.
wonderful. Very good.
and then I'll sort of say that to everybody else. Like, so apparently he is capable of some sort of magic.
Do you
Again, where did you find this butler?
Solomon.
Where'd you find this cat?
Solomon
Want me to need a cat?
has a room in your house.
Bims, it's okay. Don't be jealous.
Just like,
Solomon, he has a room in your house, correct? Right?
I'm sorry, what? One more
He
time.
has a room in your house,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Maybe we should get in there before he can trash it.
Do you think he's headed to the house?
Probably. If he's heading in that direction, it makes sense. If
He-
you're trying to cover your tracks, you burn everything. And, so probably should get to that.
I hop on an eagle. Or
An owl.
an owl.
Okay. So,
And
I'll
he
go
was-
check it out.
what's the plan here?
I'm gonna go check out the house.
I'm going with him.
Peach is coming too.
I will also go. Demi, before she goes, is instructing that they go to the largest closable room below deck, lock the door,
Yes.
and stay inside.
There's
Oceanus is
4
like,
guards.
all right, Captain
Yeah.
Demi. Right. All of you, follow me. And he just like takes
Perfect.
command.
Oh, thank God. Stay safe. Don't disappear, please. Thank you. All right.
You too. And you guys off. So Solomore's house, just for context for you all, is up here. It's number 20. It's the very large manor up on the hill. It's that huge sucker. It does have a big, again, like half stone with then iron wrought topping fence all the way around it, but there are yards and gardens to this house. Nothing too crazy. It's Salt Marsh. It's not the capital, but fairly ornate, as we've established before. Where do you plan on landing, and how do you plan on approaching the house?
As I feel like as we approach the gate, I'm gonna at least get closer to the guards and ask them if the butler came in.
Okay, so
Because
as you
he's got no reason to hide from these people.
as you sweep in, there are 2 guards at the gate, and they just say, "Oi, what's that? Guards? Oh, Scarin. Yeah, he came through, I don't know, 5 minutes or so ago."
I just fly in over them without waiting for another word.
Okay.
Demi, on the other hand, are there only 2 guards?
It's just the 2 guards at the front gate.
She's going to instruct them that something is wrong and to go tell Monastrad, oh god. To go tell the remaining members of the council, to, like, hole up and protect themselves.
Okay. So they begin to head out to follow that order.
Do you mind if I yell back and say, "Don't trust Scarin"?
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess, like, very quickly
Impart that context on
I
them.
figured
impart
somebody
that
would
context to
probably
them.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Okay. They begin
You're
to
like-
kind of, they actually split off, going in different directions, because there's a number of individuals now that need to be informed.
Children.
Okay. So, you land in front of the large doors of the Solomore mansion. As it stands before you, how do you proceed?
Well, Zal's our door opener.
Okay, well. And I go, "We don't know the layout." Okay, cool. And I just walk up to the door and open it.
Okay.
We've been here before.
We don't know the layout, though, really. We
No.
Kinda like one round.
Yeah,
As
But
you
we've gone in, is what I meant.
as you walk up to the door, it is locked.
That seems right.
Yeah, there he is.
I have a really quick thing. I'm not proficient in it, but I'd enjoy using this lockpick, because fuck this dude.
Go ahead and make a sleight of hand. You don't get proficiency.
Great.
Did you say we landed at the front door?
Yes.
Oh.
I mean,
was
if
gonna
you'd
go-
like to land
I was
someplace
gonna
else, you
try and get around back, at least look to make sure no one's running across the farmyard.
can. Okay. So, like, do you, as everybody lands, like, are you making a loop?
I'm just gonna do a quick check of the
Okay.
environment.
So you loop around the
Mhm.
the kind of compound itself. You don't see anybody at this specific moment. As you come around,
Gotcha.
the backside is clear, the sides are clear. As you land back down, roll. You know what? This roll a perception
I was
check for
technically
me.
there first, so I was just gonna do a
Do a perception check because you like swoop past the door and cut around and everyone's like,
yeah. 17 plus 7, 24.
with that perception roll,
More.
you don't
25. Sorry, no, 24.
you don't see anybody, and with that perception roll, as you're looking out at the surroundings, you're pretty sure nobody would have at least been able to run by
All the
foot.
way across.
Yeah, to get away from
Got
you
it.
without being seen by you.
That's all I wanted. So at least I know he's inside the house, or we've been lied to again. Gotcha.
Zal,
Natural 20.
Ooh.
you guys are
Good time.
Kidding you.
Demi and
Good
Peach
time.
as you're getting off your owls and kind of walking up, Zal, and the doors open.
I just kind of look back at the group. I've maybe used it before. It's not terribly hard. Okay, cool. So walk in really quick.
Okay,
I
you
noted
step in.
that.
It's a much wider. Again, so as you step into the foyer, sorry, I got distracted. It's a much wider foyer with two grand staircases that wrap up and around and meet in the middle, with doors going off in several directions. It's a 2-story building, possible basement. You are not certain. How do you proceed?
I will instruct everyone's owls for however long they last, because they only last an hour, Josh. That's up to you.
You've got about 30 minutes on them. This has all happened pretty quickly, I'd say.
I will instruct, and this is a gamble, I will instruct them that if anything else runs out of this building that is not the 4 of us, attack it.
Attack it.
Yes.
Okay.
Or at least grab it and make sure it can't leave.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up the stat blocks just in case.
I can send it to you.
Giant.
It's just giant owl, right?
Okay.
No worries, my friend. Just faster to Google it up.
Just have them perch on the roof, and if anything starts to leave this building that is not us,
Okay. So I've just gone ahead and rolled some perception rolls for them also to keep an eye out to see if they
you have advantage, just
Oh,
in case.
hold on. Okay. I'm gonna write those down.
And that's all
Thank you.
8 of them?
Well,
I'm rolling.
4.
There's only 4 there, and I'm rolling
Okay.
for like 2s.
Yeah.
I don't want to
I
roll
was just
for
curious if the other owls were there or not. So that was just
I will
me.
say no, because Solomor's is probably still with the boat, and the other ones are in different directions.
Yeah.
Still doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
Still terrifying the countryside.
I have Ashi just keep circling us and just watching to see if he sees
Okay.
this dude.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. That's
Roll
his-
a quick perception for him now. I'm having you roll once because that's it globally for these.
Yeah,
Can
it's over
I-
the long time.
Gotcha.
Can
Gotcha.
I retcon because I forgot that Bims is on my shoulder? That Bims stays with Oceanus. Can I just
That's
say
fine.
that? I didn't want to bring him.
Yeah.
Okay.
19 for Ashi. I'm rolling good tonight, guys.
We're gonna find this motherfucker.
Don't say
and
these
we're
things.
gonna
Don't shake
ruin
up.
his day.
Boys, stop.
Don't worry.
Boys, stop.
Try it.
I became a top. I was a Beyblade for a hot second, so like
That
it's
was
all good.
that was
I
pretty
would
good.
love that quote. I became a top.
Wow.
Let's clip that, chat.
I stumbled into an alley and I became a top. End of story.
There we go. That's all story. I wanted was him to stumble on it. Anyway, thank
We'll
you.
put that on a pillow. and turn it to-
They're getting me to my character goal.
Oh my god.
All right.
That's so good.
So, you are all now seeing this space. I'm going to say that, Mortin, you're just landing. The group is ahead of you in the building. You kind of see them
Yes,
stepping
yes,
through
yes.
the doors.
Totally fine. I'm
How do
instructing
you
the
all...
owl.
Yeah, you're giving owl instructions right now. How do you all want to proceed?
So he may be able to be invisible, and he can apparently.
Great.
Did
That's
Mortin...
fine. I'm not afraid.
Quick
Oh,
question.
did Mortin tell us that?
Did Mortin... Well, how well did Mortin explain what he saw?
Well, I said he was potentially. I would have explained what the cat told me, but I definitely informed him that he's able to use magic.
Demi, roll Arcana for me.
Okay.
yeah,
That would be a
let me describe
natural 20.
Oh shit!
Mortin described levitation to you.
Oh fuck!
See, Sean did that.
So, for all the spell books she's like, I don't know how to do this, but I do know
But
what
you
that
have
is.
read that spell.
I've studied this.
So apparently he can levitate? Who knew?
Right?
I look
What
up.
does who does oh
Would trying to figure out where he's gone, would that be survival?
Yeah, go
or
ahead and roll a survival. You're trying to,
investigation,
because you don't know where his bedroom is, or you don't know where he would have gone. So go ahead and roll. Well, how are you doing it? Are you looking for footprints and scuff marks, or are you investigating for like unlocked doors? Like, what's your approach?
Peach would be looking to see if there was like any sign of any sort of disturbance, or if there was any sound, or as they proceed, seeing if there were unlocked doors.
Okay, go ahead and roll investigation on that.
That's a 12.
Nothing particularly stands out to you. Everything seems to be in order as you're looking around.
I don't like it.
Okay. Do we split up, or are we staying together? That's the thing we need to decide right now.
I don't think splitting up is a good idea. I mean, we saw what happened to the gods in the jail.
At least not 1-to-1.
Solomor's gaudy. He thinks that he's a god among men. Downstairs would probably be the best place to check first, at least, right?
Not on the top floor.
Yeah, he's
No,
still on
not
the top
up for sure. No, his manservant probably doesn't stay on the same floor as him.
Roll a knowledge.
That's pretty good logic. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. That's pretty sound logic.
The guy is a dickhole. So
God among men.
Oh,
What was that button?
Knowing where Plum would reside in the inn, can Peach try and make a knowledge check of where the butler's quarters might be?
Sure, go ahead and roll history for me.
History. Oh, nice. Yeah, all right. That's a 17, but where's history? +2, 19.
So Plum's quarters, for kind of your context, was like back behind the kitchen and off, but it wasn't a big enough complex to have specific floors and things like that for servants. The lower floor, a lot of the time, because you interacted regularly with people who worked in those sorts of jobs, a lot of the time basement floor.
All right, then Peach is going to share that information. I think if Solomor is like all of the other assholes, which he seems like all of the other assholes, he probably is in the basement.
So let's go
Lives in the basement.
see.
Housed in the basement.
I will. I have one wild shape left. I'm
Oh.
going to use it to turn into a wolf.
Okay.
I start sniffing.
Okay, go ahead and roll that perception with
gonna start-
advantage.
Snip it. Just
Cool.
sniff a little piece of fabric.
Yeah, it's with
I have
advantage, right?
intelligence.
Yeah, I pulled out the little piece of fabric for him to sniff it.
Oh, there you go. You have a solid scent of Solomor.
Ooh, I got a big nose full of that stuff.
Also, you have confirmation that this is definitely Solomor's.
Okay. Where's there?
Yeah.
Ooh, plus
Added
7.
confirmation.
That's a dirty 20.
That's a dirty 20. As you sniff, especially given
Literally
the context
Scooby-Doo.
of Peach, there is this. So the stairs come up, and then there's this back portion where there's this like large open area. But back behind the grand staircases on the first floor, if you walk past them and back, there is on the right side a door.
Ooh.
And as you kind of follow the scent, you reach this door, and it is a very inconspicuous door. It is just like a kind of wooden door painted the color of the wall, which Peach would align with your knowledge of kind of the sorts of doors they put into serving quarters, and Zahl aligns with your kind of assumption that Solomor is a prick.
I'll just sort of like bloodhound at the door, try not to make too much sound, just sort of like pointer dog at it.
Okay. How do you approach the door?
Do you want to
Peach
try
will
it?
have their sword drawn, and they'll just open it.
Okay. The door does swing open,
Oh no.
and you are fine.
And what?
And what?
You are fine.
Oh,
Okay.
Looks like he
Peach now
didn't
has-
trap the door that his master might walk through.
I want to know why he cares so much. I want to know the motivations so bad.
They're boyfriends.
I want to believe that. I want to believe that this is some weird.
I'll never tell.
So Peach now has
Romantic.
dark vision. So
Well, the hall
Peach
it's
will-
lit.
oh, cool.
Oh,
Well, Peach will still lead the way.
Okay.
Looking out, they'll kind of like try and feel how wide is the hallway.
So as you step through the door, it is a landing and then a stairs leading downwards. Simple stone stairs. There's it's a stone landing and there's like a little carpet on it and then just stone stairs leading down into the basement. And as you look down, there's just little sconces with torches in them, kind of lit. And it leads down into a hallway that you kind of have to proceed further down the stairs to see where it goes.
Okay, is it wide enough for Peach to like have their elbows out and feel for someone who's potentially invisible?
Yeah, absolutely.
he's
It's
just walking.
Fuck you.
it's probably like it's a good 5 feet across. Like
I love that.
Actually, I take it back. Peach will have a better idea because they're a little slow, and I'm a little slow. And they'll have their sword out in front of them and kind of just
Just
lead with
casually
that.
slicing through the air.
Not even slicing, just like it'll touch someone if they're there.
okay.
Also, I got my whiffer whiffing.
Your whiffer is whiffing, and it does smell. There's a fresh scent trail coming down these stairs.
Give me your whiffs.
As
I'm just following.
you head down this hallway, led by Peach, I assume Morton's second. What is your marching order? Let's get that.
I'll go after Morton.
I'll go second.
Morton's a dog. Doggo.
My hit points are temporary.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, how many temporary hit points did you give me, Morton? When you did
You only ever get one if I heal you with a die.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
My bad. I think I.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Me either, bruh.
Yeah, that's fair. So as you make your way down the stairs, you're able to breach the bottom of the stairs. There's again this kind of stone-walled, stone-pathed hallway with beams running along the top above you. It's fairly high-ceilinged. The stones went kind of low. There's a door to your right. There's a door to your left, and then there's a second door to your left, a little further down the hallway.
Peach is gonna point at each of them and wait for Morton to make a sound.
The door to the right, strong scent of cooked meats, herbs, spices.
Oh no.
First door to the left, not a whole, just kind of like wood, fabric materials, things like that.
Mhm.
Far door to the left, fairly distinct smell of Solomor based off of what has been shared with you.
Solomor?
I'm sorry, Scarin.
I was like, what?
Solomor!
All right.
The plot
I took a
thickens!
long look
Scaring.
towards that meat room, and I'm just like,
Two lovers. One another.
Secret
Oh, no.
tunnel.
To be clear, and I feel like I described this in the first episode and it hasn't come up, Scarin is significantly older than Solomor. Not to dissuade
Yeah.
that, but
Don't judge their lives.
I'm not, but just context to this character. Scarin
kill
is
our love.
probably pushing 50.
Interesting. Okay.
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 I give a long look towards the meat room, and then I begrudgingly go towards the other door. That smells like Solomor or whatever.
What's his nuts?
Yeah,
What's his nuts?
Murder Butler.
Okay, okay.
Sebastian.
Hey,
I kept waiting for somebody to be like one hell of
Yeah.
a butler. Every time Salawar was doing it, I was like, what?
He does a killer job cleaning.
He really kills it at being a butler.
So you're
He always
walking
makes me
up to this door.
cereal. Killer.
Peach just opens it.
Wait, this door? Wait, Josh, are we on a map that we don't see?
No. This
Oh,
is
okay.
the left door that was described.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
The one you told me smelled like the guy.
Yes. Peach, you gotta open the door.
Yeah, Saul's in the back going 3,
It's locked.
2. Okay, never mind.
You should fuck from the inside.
Peach is gonna ram it with their elbow.
Oh, really?
You're gonna check the door?
Okay. Go ahead and roll an unarmed attack against that door.
Is this gonna hurt?
Oh no.
The door was a mimic.
Shouldn't hurt you.
Stop it.
You're rolling damage
Stop
against
it.
the door.
Plus 6 to an unarmed strike. RA 15, 21.
That hits.
You
This
hit the door.
Roll that
What
damage.
is this?
I shouldn't really make you roll
Oh,
to hit a
I
door.
just-
That's not fair.
Yeah, it's just 4
So it's just straight 4.
bludgeoning. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel it kind of give at the hinges a little bit and catch on the lock, but it's not down. It's a locked door.
Ooh.
Demi's gonna shape water and oh, sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, while they're elbowing the door, can I hold an Eldritch Blast like ready for when that thing opens in case the dude's on the other side?
Yeah, how are you guys kind of standing around this door just to get clarity on that? Because it's about a 5 feet wide hallway. The door's off to the left, so are you like grouped around it with things pointed?
Well, I would be next to Peach, ready to lunge.
Okay, ready to lunge.
I'm just gonna, I guess, be behind Mortin
So, like,
if possible.
We're saying like Zahl and Demi are on either side of the two
Yes.
standing at the door,
Mhm.
kind of aiming
Yeah.
towards the door. Got it. Thank you.
I wanna shape water into the lock and freeze it.
Okay.
Awesome.
Interesting.
And see if that helps them break the lock.
I should know how to resolve this. We're gonna
Man, if this guy's in there, he's gonna be just shaking in his boots right now.
Yeah, because we can't open a door.
He's just
So-
going, "Hey, splash some water on it."
Again, you like the water is starting to seep into that kind of lock space,
Mhm.
and you kind of freeze it, and it solidifies around it, but the metal isn't
Uh-huh.
cracking or breaking or anything like that. It's just frozen
is-
over metal.
Does it seem more fragile?
One way to find
Yeah,
out.
the idea was just to make it brittle.
Morton, does your perception say the same as a wolf?
Yes.
So your
22.
passive is 22. You hear a thud and a clatter.
Uh-oh.
Oh, where does it exit?
A thud and a clatter. Thud and a clatter. Thud and a clatter. Okay.
Peach hits it again.
I'm just gonna
Go
start.
ahead and just roll damage for me. Or you just do straight damage, right?
It's
It's just
4.
a straight, okay, another 4 damage.
Oh.
Again, there's a lot of weight being put behind Peach with the armor and everything hitting that door, and you do see now as the rock,
Oh, it's barricading it.
the lock kind of gives, but it's not all the way down. This is a fairly sturdy door, and it is fastened in place.
It seems like it being barricaded.
Doesn't the thud and the clatter more sounded like a drawer being pulled out and pulled too hard and coming all the way out?
I see. He's just making his grand escape. He's got what he came for.
Is there any
Peach
crack?
does it again.
It's like you see like light coming through, but you're seeing like a little bit of ceiling.
On this one, I'm gonna lunge at the same time Peach does. Give him the
Okay, go ahead and well, I'm just letting Peach roll damage at this point because we know they can hit the door. So if you would like to also make unarmed against it, Morton,
Sure.
just to have added weight against the door as you try to bludgeon your way through.
Yeah.
So
Dice. Yeah. 7 points of wolf
Oh.
damage.
okay, so
Wolf.
Oh.
oh right, because you're a wolf, yeah, you get a regular. So it you crash against it, and with the added kind of like claw of your wolf friend pressing against it, the door goes.
I just start barking.
Okay,
Do we see him?
Do we see anything?
go ahead and roll perception.
What?
Would
But
we
I
see
heard the
anything or
clatter.
no?
Oh, I rolled an 18, so 17.
18.
I keep
What was
rolling
that?
17.
What was that,
Tis
Parker?
my turn for natural 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. Did you want us to do that too? I didn't know if we could see in or not.
I'll say you all can see certain points of the room. Morton and Peach have full
That would
view.
be another natural 20.
Wow, holy.
Is really angry about earlier, I guess. Is really sorry about earlier, and I just
Okay.
putting all of these on my Instagram story. It loves me again.
He killed 2 people.
That's a 16. Just so you know.
A 16. Okay. The room is empty. You see a lot. Okay. This room is fairly well furnished, but humble. There's like a bed with some coverings. There is an armoire that is open, and there's been clothing and things pulled out of it. There is a desk that had a drawer that has been pulled out, deposited, and there are papers everywhere. There is a single mirror sitting in one corner on feet. It's like got a frame to it. Mortin, with your perception check, immediately the scent you've been following leads towards that mirror.
Towards the mirror?
Oh, Mother Russia.
I charge the mirror.
You charge the mirror? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you charging it in a specific way?
I'm just gonna run at it.
Okay.
Because I think he's in front of it.
You run at the mirror.
Yes.
You don't hit anything. You don't hit anything. You collide with the mirror.
Ow.
Oh.
I just started barking at the mirror.
You do. Mortin is now barking at this mirror. I'm giving you. You're all on a timer. You don't know what that timer is. I want you all to take a turn to react to the information that you've been provided.
Okay.
Oh,
All I know is that I'm barking at it.
Mortin is barking loudly at this mirror.
I would
Mortin
like
has
to roll.
run straight at the mirror and not impacted with anything. Demi.
I want to know if I can tell if the mirror is magical and if I know anything about magical mirrors.
Roll an Arcana check for me.
Please don't hate me. Okay. Plus. So 18.
With that check, you're not. This is not so much based on your knowledge of Arcana, but your experience reading stories. Mirrors have been used as teleportation devices in the past.
And I don't know how any of that works. I just know stories.
You've just heard that.
infuriating. All right, Peach is just gonna tap at the mirror with their sword because I don't know what damn
Okay,
thing.
so you're just tapping at the mirror with the sword. Okay, you tap at the mirror with the sword. Tink, tink against the glass.
I want to look at the back of the mirror.
Okay, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Oh god. Oh god.
It's gonna be good. You're fine.
Hard thing. So
You'll
I'm
be fine.
scared.
You got
Fine,
it.
it's good. It's good.
Oh god. Oh, I got a 15.
With a 15. Okay. You give it a pretty thorough look. There's like etchings and scrawlings down the back of the mirror, but you're not certain if that's just part of the mirror or what it is.
We're still on a timer, yeah?
I'm going to give you each one more round.
You said there are papers on the floor?
There are papers everywhere.
Oh.
I'm also shouting this out that there was the stuff.
I assume y'all are sharing that information with each other all alone.
Yeah.
Peach presses their hand to the mirror
Cold glass.
to see cold glass.
Demi goes around the back to the back of the mirror to see if that helps her know anything about it. The writing that Zahl said was on there.
So you're looking at the engravings?
Yeah.
How are you looking at the engravings?
With comprehend languages.
Comprehend languages.
To see if comprehend languages. I'm gonna cast it and see if it gives me anything. It doesn't decode secret messages or anything, but that isn't part of a written language.
Right.
So, but I wanted to cast to see if it would give her any insight on that.
Okay. As you look at this patterning, roll investigation with it as well.
Okay. You're gonna think I'm lying.
Because you are.
It's another natural 20.
Oh my
God. Okay.
We're getting this guy, Josh.
With that,
My dice are angry. I don't know what's happening.
you are able to pin down in the scroll work. There's a single word
Mm-hmm.
It's in. Does it tell you the language it's in?
Let me double check the spell.
And it is buried in
it says,
this ornate engravings everywhere. There is one place that pops out to you with that nat 20.
It says you also understand any written language that you see. You must be touching the surface on which it is written.
Okay.
But it doesn't say anything about whether or not I know the language.
So you're not sure what the language is.
Okay.
But there is a single word written there.
Mm-hmm.
It says Elmanath.
How do I spell that?
Elmantha.
Okay.
ELMAN.
I'm gonna say that word out loud and see if anybody else recognizes it.
Okay. So you hear Demi say Elmanath. That's Demi's turn. Peach's turn. Zahl, I haven't had anything from you yet. Mortin, did you do a second turn? I don't believe so.
I did not.
Okay.
And
So-
it hurts my soul that I'm not smart enough to participate.
What's up, Zahl?
I thought Peach was going. My bad.
Peach has already
no,
kind of
Peach
touched
went.
the mirror.
Gotcha. I didn't know if you were doing anything else. So that's why. Following Peach's lead, I'm going to bring the slip of cloth that I have, the triangle piece, and touch it to the mirror with my hand.
Nothing happens. And as you do, a crack forms at the top of the mirror. And it goes, and then the glass shatters out forwards, coming out of the mirror as it shatters to the ground.
Mentic, no, I'm kidding. I'm totally joking.
You can certainly try.
I don't have Mentic. I can't.
You are now standing there in this room, papers everywhere. The mirror shattered.
Got her.
That was a waste.
Someone cast Mending.
Demi's gonna start. I don't have that. Demi's gonna start picking up all the papers in the room.
Okay. And I think, guys, that's where we're going to end today's session.
Oh no, that's a.
Sorry. You guys pursued
I'm
this
so
individual
mad.
to this room. You've gotten very, very close. But I guess we'll see what happens next week, right? On Conundrum Company at the same time on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you, everybody, for staying with us and hanging out during this crazy chase sequence. We really appreciate you all. Tune in tomorrow for a Dwarven Eldritch Horror cos playground session with some fantastic cosplayers and some amazing cosplays. We look forward to seeing you there.
Check
Bye.
out our Instagram for podcast.
Ooh, yeah, Instagram. Bye. I know where's the ending scene. There it is. Got it. Bye.